The buyer.
Let's start that over.
Wait. 14 days to Mardi Gras, people. 14 damn days. Welcome, everyone, to News on the Flip Side. I hope y'all enjoyed a little Ico. And, first time I heard that song, I was really young. And I was listening to it, and I was like, Dad, this song pretty rough, huh? You're going to kill your ass, set your ass on fire. I was like, man, this song, when you listen to a lot of those Mardi Gras songs, they're kind of harsh, man.
It's kind of like those Creole girls, man.
Well, Creole girls are always hot, but I mean,
yeah, but they'll put a voodoo on your ass.
Oh yeah, they'll put a voodoo on your ass, a voodoo to fall in love and give them all your money.
They'll bury your boxer shorts in their front yard, and then all of a sudden you can't go out. I'll tell you, man, I know the tricks.
They got some voodoo down here, people. No, Jamie. Oh, we lost Jay. The voodoo got Jay. The voodoo got Jay, man. He been voodooed. Anyway, I got to get us a guest. We got a guest coming on with us tonight. He'll be on within just a second because I'm screwing around like I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm a rookie these days. People use the chat rooms. Jesus, I get tired telling y'all that. Use the chat rooms. Look, I don't mind. I mean, I'll do the messenger all day, but it's not fair to the guests and it's not fair to the other hosts because they don't know who the hell y'all are. They just think y'all some ghost people or something.
Yeah, ghosts.
Ghost people. Yes, you don't know what ghost people are.
The ghostest with the mostest.
Jay,
man.
Jay got probed. I think he got probed. The voodoo got him, and he's being probed by the voodoo queen. Marie Laveau is probing him at the moment, and I feel for him. But hey. I heard she was a hottie, so I don't want to.
Who did what?
Marie Laveau.
Who's that?
Marie Laveau. You don't know who Marie Laveau is?
I have no idea.
Oh my God, you're gonna burn in hell because she's gonna put you there, man. Oh my God, she is the voodoo queen, man. The real voodoo queen, the one that made all this stuff famous back in the day. Oh man, it's well, you know what? We'll do a show on her in the near future. And that way everybody will Oh, now you're gonna send me his bio, Carmen. I'm gonna smack your ass. I gotta love me some Carmen. Carmen, what's that, Jackie? Carmen is a friend of mine who's does a lot of guest acquisitions for this show. Well, really, he does them for Author School, but he gives us guests for this show as well. No, he's a lot of fun. I talked to him all the time. I harassed the hell out of him. Yeah.
Am I dark? Is it dark in here, man?
Yeah, well, it's dark in here too, so don't feel bad. I need to add some lighting. I really need to add some lighting in here for some reason.
Like a little dark. I just like sit here,
Jackie. What are you talking about?
Candlelight.
I'm actually looking for his the gentleman's email. Yeah, I don't know why it was in my email a few minutes ago, and now it seems to have gone bye. Well, when you going back and forth with emails with one of the people, sometimes they build up, and you got to open them up. And thank you, Michelle. Seeing the show schedule. I'm sorry, I'm looking through mails and I seen the show schedule for something we're doing.
Jay, what happened, man?
Jay got the voodoo, man. That's what happened. He got the voodoo.
Doesn't take long to shake it off.
Jay got the voodoo.
Voodoo on me.
Voodoo on me.
My internet died.
See, you got the voodoo, man. That's what happened. He got the voodoo. Damn, I'm gonna have to text. Why in the hell? Well, usually the email's right here. I wonder what happened.
Well, while you guys are sitting there, remember I said about a month ago that I had a dream that we could go into Fort Knox and look to see if there's any gold in there because I don't think there is any. Guess what? Elon Musk is saying he's going to live stream an investigation into Fort Knox to see all the gold. He said if there's all gold in there, no one's got anything to worry about. I think they only had maybe one or two chambers with gold, and the rest is gone. I think they had gold.
Well, you know what? The bitch part about that is if that's true, they couldn't tell you that anyway. They wouldn't let Elon tell you that.
I don't know.
Trump, even Trump couldn't let you do that.
Trump's trying to be the most transparent guy. I like what he's doing. I don't have one problem.
I don't have a problem with that, but Fort Knox is empty. That's revolution kind of shit, man.
Before we go any further with this, Who is in control of Fort Knox? Is it the U.S. Army or the Federal Reserve?
It's the U.S. Army. And if I remember correctly, both of them are involved.
The reserve is that's what it's supposed to be.
If I remember correctly, they're both involved.
You know,
I think actually, Joe, you're correct. I think it's owned by the Federal Reserve, protected by the U.S. Army. In which case, the U.S. Army is controlled by Trump. The Federal Reserve is not.
So I'll tell you the story, right? They used to use the local high school football team there at Fort Knox to come in and turn the gold every year. They would turn the gold. In the late 60s, they stopped doing it. You know, they didn't. And as a matter of fact, they don't allow anyone in there. Nobody. You know, get into Fort Knox. That's why I say it's so hard to get into Fort Knox.
All right, hold on. We're gonna. Okay, Carmen, what are you doing?
I think there's maybe a couple of rooms that if they had to show someone, like look at all the rooms. But that was my dream, and everybody said I was crazy. That never happened. And now,
I sent him a thing a few minutes ago. We were running late. Say hi to everybody because everybody can hear you. It's Jay, Mike, this is Carmen. Guys, just talking about you just a few minutes ago.
Semper Fi.
And so you're live on the air with us right now. So, but no, I sent it to him about 4 or 5 minutes ago.
Who did what?
Hello, Michael. Hello, Jay.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, guys. They're like, who the hell is that? It's a disembodied voice, people. That's what it is.
It's a magic phone.
But yeah, I sent it to him. So if you, just tell him look in his mail. If not, I'll send it to him again in a couple minutes. But I sent it. For some reason, it was giving me a hard time finding his email for him. It was kind of weird. But anyway, he's got it. Like I said, if
I'll resend it to you.
Yeah, well, no, I found it, so I sent it to him. So he should have it. And like I said, if I don't hear from him in 2 or 3 minutes, I'll send it again.
Okay.
All right, baby, be good. That's sexy beast man, Carmen. Y'all. Carmen's a nice guy. He's like Sasquatch, though. I mean, some bitch is like 9 foot tall.
He's a nice guy.
No. He's no. Actually, one of these days we'll bring Carmen on. We'll bring Carmen on to talk about music because he does. He's a musician as well as every other thing that he does. All the rest of his jobs. He does media for Writers of the Future and L. Ron Hubbard. So he does. He gets me. Anytime I'm looking for a guest or Arthur Quill's looking for a guest, he'll go find them for me, hunt them down, set them up, and he knows for like guests for like this show. He knows the kind of things I like to talk about. So, because him and I have talked quite a bit. So usually when he sends me somebody, it's somebody I'm going to enjoy. And, we've had a couple of really good military guys on recently that were a lot of fun to talk to. And we only got him for the first hour, but yeah, there he is. Fred Smith. There you go. Look at that. Good looking guy too, man. Look at that. We're going to bring you up, Fred. We're going to bring you up in just a second. Guys and girls, we're going to bring a guest on in just a minute. We got to wrap up a couple things right quick. We got to quell the rumors of Jay and his pregnancy. It's out of control. Well, I just didn't want y'all to start this tomorrow night in the chat. Okay, I'm just saying there's been
too
enough
late,
of that.
Joe. The cat's out of the bag, and you started it.
So if that's the case, we're gonna I'm gonna have the girls. The UPR website's being remodeled right now. But I might hear it's from two fantastic ladies. I haven't seen anything, so I couldn't tell you what was going on. But when they get ready to get done, I'm going to send them a donation thing for Jay's baby. And we're going to donate that to something serious when it's all said and done. And of course, everything else will be there so you can find us. And there are show spots coming available. But I think right now the cheapest, it depends. Probably if you're just messing around for an hour a week or something, you could probably get one as cheap as $75. But if you're going to get featured or Roku, that just adds to it. So just stuff to think about. But right now, because we're really full, so we're not hurting for spots. So, and we're getting ready to split the station. Now, when that happens, that changes everything. That it's like a metamorphosis coming. Yes. Well, the station's kind of grown in some weird directions. And, technically, we still own UFO Paranormal Radio Network. Mm. So what's going to probably happen here later this year, maybe early part of next year, United Public will go out on its own without any backup from all the rest of the show lineup from this network that we're currently on, which is uprntalkradio.com, 1077 New Orleans, and 1053 Pass Christian on Mississippi. Anyway, on that note, we're going to bring our guest up here. Fred, wait, let's get him up here. Okay, Jay, move that thing out of my face so I can see Fred's good-looking face, man. There we go. Hey, Fred, how you doing, man?
I'm amazing. How are you doing? I love
pretty
content. Epic.
Yes, we get a little crazy. We're actually kind of calm on this show compared to the Saturday night show. The Saturday night show is, we just call it the chat.
Although
because
we've been known to throw a few F-bombs around on this show.
But we should call it the out of control show is what we should call it. And you know, we have like 7 different hosts that come and go. So we always have new people coming and going. And, you know, we have female hosts, male hosts, and we just kind of mix it up for whoever on our network, because the network's huge now. And I think we have 35 live shows, over 40 live hosts, not include 100 syndicated. So any of those hosts are allowed to stop by. And if you're a guest and we enjoyed your company, you're always allowed to just pop in to either this show or that show and just say hi, and we drop you in the queue. And, you know, God knows what's going to happen after that. But I tell everybody to make sure they're right with their Lord before they come on any of our shows. And Carmen should have told you that. But Fred, introduce yourself, because Carmen had sent me over a bio, but I didn't see it. Well, him and I talked, but I want the rest of the world to know who you are. So go ahead, man.
I appreciate it. Sounds like you're my spirit animal, man.
I like that, actually.
Yeah, well, my name is Fred Smith. I have been trained in the Marine Corps from a very high level to probably go a little bit more in detail as to exactly what your broadcasting station represents. I was trained at like National Security Agency level stuff in the Marine Corps, and it translates into communication. So just to make a long story short, over the last 15, 20 years, I've scaled up several businesses from 0 to a few hundred million in the automotive industry. So you've seen these results in effect of like how some of the brands have shifted their overall design. We wrote some curriculum, but also my claim to fame is being stuck out in the desert as a Marine for about 30 days. That was pretty interesting. You know, I'm a combat vet, but overall, I'm super excited to be here. I love the energy that Carmen brings, and I'm really super happy to be here.
He is high energy. He's a little, you know, but I still love him, man. I get it. You know, well, you know, when I talk to Carmen, it's like this. Hey, Carmen, how's the weather up there, dude?
Yeah.
It's good. He's no, I mean, he's legit. He's what, 6'4", I think, but
yeah, he's taller than me because I'm 6'3", and
yes.
we were at L. Ron Hubbard's science fiction masterpiece To the Stars. It was the Institute of Space Law and Ethics. So the 75th anniversary for that.
Yes, we're actually sponsoring the book. We I run an organization called the International Community for Alien Research, and so we're actually putting in a little sponsorship to it just for the book. You know, I mean, we carried it on the network. We actually gave away 5 of them just recently.
Wow.
But that's network stuff. That's ICAR is a whole different thing. It's something I started about. I shouldn't say I started. A group of us started about 44 years ago. You know, it was funny when I was in the Navy, because I was Special Forces in the Navy. I had a weird career in the Navy, and I got lucky. I was in between 2 wars. I just fell right in between them. I mean, the Nimitz was great. I learned a lot of stuff. I got to meet a lot of pilots, had a lot of fun, a lot of crazy asses I met when I was there. But I always screwed myself up in reverse. I went in as enlisted, and I said, okay, I'm just going to go in and get an education, get out, and do my thing. I get in. I'm in boot camp. I get a stripe, and they put me in charge of office cleanup. Then I got another stripe. I said, wait a minute, I got E2, and I ain't even got 6 weeks into boot camp yet. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And then so he said, well, we like what you're doing. He said, you're really good. You have really good command skills. He said, you know, you should think about being. I said, no, I don't want to be an officer. And so I was going through some tech stuff. I was actually reapplying for the ASVAB because I wanted to get a higher score so I could go higher up in the tech level, because that's what I was after. I wanted to get into the nuclear level, and I was like 2 points below on the original test. So I retook it, and I qualified. And then my commander tells me, I pulled these 2 idiots out of the. Remember, I don't know if y'all had this, but you probably did, where you had to go through the thing where the fire was going, and you had to crawl through in your hands and arms. So it's like the firefighter's course. So I had to go in there and pull 2 idiots out of there because they were choking out, had that thing all wrapped around and shit. So my commander goes, he said, you got a pretty good knack for this. And he said, you got pretty good skills. Wow. He said, and he said, you got all 3 of your marksman, sharpshooters, and sniper's badge. He said, like it was a nothing. I said, dude, I was raised in Louisiana, freaking bayou. Of course I could shoot a gun. Give me a break. Everybody down here can shoot a gun. It's not a big thing.
Shout out to alligators who play.
That's what I'm saying. It's just not a big thing. So he goes, well, he said, we're looking for some people for special forces training. He said, but this is the guys that go in and save the special forces guys. I'm like, what the hell are you trying to get me into? So I started taking a course. I'm 20 months in. So we catch a break. So they send me out to the Nimitz because I had gone through electronics training while this was going on. They sent me out to Nimitz, so they put me on the flight deck as a plane captain, which I was having a blast. Because the plane captain controls the whole deck, and I'm having a blast. I'm launching jets. I'm 18, 19 years old. I think 19 at the time. I'm having a ball, man. And so we had an A6 intruder. It had a malfunction, so I fixed it on the deck in like 5 minutes. And I still remember my first officer walked up. He said, "You did that in 5 minutes straight." He said, "We take crews to fix this." He said, "What is this?" I said, "That was nothing." So he tells me, he said, "Well, when you're done, I want to bring you upstairs to the conning tower." He said, "We've been having an electronic issue with one of our systems, and we'd like you to take a look at it." Because he said all kind of people. I went in, I opened the thing up, played around 5 minutes, found this little thing in there. It's like a hairball or something was in between two contactors. Pulled it out, cleaned it, screwed it back in, started up, and said, "It's fixed." I swear, my commander said, "You just got promoted to lieutenant junior grade, and you're now on the deck with us." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, you can't come up here if you're an officer." He said, "We just made a special thing for you today, but you're not allowed in here if you're not an officer." And he said, "It's really," he said, "You can't, Ensign can't even, Ensign's got to meet you outside and talk to the captain." I'm like, "Really?" He says, "As low as you can come in here." I'm like, "Really?" He said, "So just think you got promoted from E3," because I was E3, then not just E4, I had a rent-a-crow. And he said, "You just got promoted." And I was like, I still had to go take the go in front of the board, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, and plus, when you're in a carrier, you get carrier pay, sea pay, hazardous pay. It's like,
I've been out on those carrier streets, believe it or not.
I bet you.
Yeah, I worked at Flea Hometown News Center. That was actually my first gig, so I had to report on the Nimitz anytime you guys got promoted. I also worked with I was actually attached to the Marine Corps Security Force Battalion too, so we could be anywhere within 24 hours, and especially those Marines on aircraft carriers, which is very.
We always have squadrons.
Yeah, so you got the DCs coming through. Yeah.
We always had a company on board, and usually a decent sized company too. I mean, the Nimitz had about 5,500 people on it, if I remember right. So
yeah, and that was one of the first things that I learned on the aircraft carrier is that you just walk the port side and starboard side, the main drag, know where your rack is, know where you work, and then you'll figure the ship out because
you'll figure it.
I remember like it was yesterday. That's why I get goosebumps about it.
Somewhere in Old Salty in the reactor room on the reactor itself, right around if you look around, there's some bolts that hold it in place. If you look around, you'll see my initials carved in over one of the nuts. And and I told my commander I did it because I figured if they ever found it, I'd be in a world of you know what. And he said, "No." He said, "You're not the only one that's done that, just so you know that." He said, "Every captain that's ever served in a ship has done that." I'm like, "Really?" It's like, "Yeah." He said, "You're not a captain, Joe."
Wow. Yeah, and that was the thing about what you said too, is that with what I did in the Marines, I had to score just as high because the equivalent to the Defense Information School was the nuclear school. I just didn't want to do a year and a half. Otherwise, I probably would have done it. But yeah, it's pretty tough.
It is, and it's I had to learn X amount of communication because of the systems I worked on. But it's
bullseye.
I still remember this. So I got a security clearance when I went in special forces. But it's like a class 5 security. It's nothing, just a security clearance. It's a top secret, but nothing like, So then I still remember this. My commander, my captain, actually, I'm underneath the radar thing working on it. He comes up and kicks me in the foot, and he goes, "They need to talk to you." I'm like, "Why?" He said, "Because you got to get a higher clearance to be here playing with this stuff." He said, "Do you know all this shit up here is top secret, right?" I'm like, yeah, I kind of figured that out ahead of time. And I still didn't even know the acronyms for this shit yet. And I still remember these two guys come in. One's FBI, one's CIA. Goes, "Sit down. We'd like to talk to you." He said, "Just so you know, we've talked to like half your family and half your friends already." I'm like, "Really?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah. They talk really good about you." I'm like, "Thank God for that."
Yeah.
And so then he tells me when we get in to we were going somewhere. I forgot where we were porting. He said, anyway, when we ported, he said they're going to polygraph.
Westpac, because you were in the Nimitz, so you probably did Westpac.
Yeah. Well, we were Westpac for sure, but we stopped at some little hole in a wall island. I still don't know where the hell it was because I still remember this. I'm like, "Oh, Hawaii! I'm going to get to go to Hope." Nope, we just sailed right on by. Whoosh. I was like,
you went to Seychelles. That's probably. I think that's what they were doing. You went to Seychelles.
Yeah, and you know what? That might have been it. I could actually find out. It was. It's like, he says, "We got a guy coming in. You're gonna get a polygraph." I said, "What do you mean I'm gonna get a polygraph?" He said, "You're gonna get a polygraph." I said, "What do you think I'm a Russian spy?" He's like, "No, but we you got to be sure." He said, "Because you're getting a significant increase in your security clearance." So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So we get to talk, and he's asked me 5 million questions, just routine is, how they ask. Just some of the questions are really stupid too. And I love when they think they're going to trick you up on some of the dumb stuff. I'm like, no, you know what? I know how to speak a Russian. You shouldn't say that. I'm like, come on, man. So we get through. He says, all right. My captain comes in and he gives me this little thing. He said, you're going to probably get promoted to lieutenant really fast. And he goes, you now have your security clearance. I had a class 10 security clearance. It's equal to the captain on the ship. He goes, Joe, he said, they ain't hardly maybe 15 people in the whole service have this security clearance. I'm like, why? He said, the guys who work in the reactor rooms on the submarines. He said, certain captains. He said, the president don't even have a class 10, dude. I'm like, he said, the stuff you're going to be
actually
working
a Q level clearance because you got all 10 compartments.
Yeah, because so he starts showing me around.
That's actually real. That's actually
it's spooky, isn't it? To let me have that kind of security. I'll tell you what it has done for me, though. It has opened doors in weird places. Because I do the International Community Family Research. I'm always trying to find people in the government may have have some information or seen something. And I would have probably let all this go, but every pilot I met while I was in the Navy saw something. Every one of them. There wasn't even an exception. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And back then I wasn't even interested. I was like, dude, y'all been smoking that ganja, haven't you? I said, because I know y'all been getting someone flying it up with you, smoking that shit in your airplanes. And no. I said, we're not stupid. We can smell it in your airplanes, man. We know what's going on. And so I gave him trouble about it. And then I still remembered because there was an official report. And actually, it was a Marine that took the report. He was an officer, but he wasn't a captain. What's the next down? Lieutenant commander.
Yeah, Lieutenant.
I think that's
in a Marine.
It was I forgot what they called them.
Butterbar, second lieutenant, second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain, then lieutenant colonel.
Okay, well then he would have been the first lieutenant then, because he was taking the reports, and I still remember this. The guy, one of the pilots, telling me, who was a lieutenant commander, he's like, Joe, he said he went in. Guy was very serious with me, and he said, okay, I don't know. I want to see your face again, and don't ever say anything about it. Get out. And I'm like, I said, he didn't make you sign anything. He said, no. He said, get out, and he said, you'll get kicked out if you say anything, and that was it. Get out. And I heard that so many times. I was like, well, Navy's interested but not interested.
Yeah.
I said, because and a friend of mine, what's a Marine, Joe? He's not going to tell the Navy. I said, you idiot, they work for each other. What are you talking about? They're the same service. I said, I don't think y'all quite understand how the Marines and the Navy works. I said, we're technically, we like to argue with each other because we want to be separate, but we're actually just one big family. I said, it's just more complicated than you think. That's all.
The Marines is the department of the Navy, but they don't.
Well, I won. I was in a strip club.
And they don't like to admit it.
I was in a strip. We had just gotten a big fight. It was a bunch of Navy guys, a bunch of Marine guys, and a bunch of bikers. We got a big fight in a strip joint. And I was sitting there, and the guy said something to me. And he said something. I said, no, the Marines work for us. He said, what do you mean? I said, look at their check. It says United States Navy on it. Don't say United States Marines. Oh, shit. I should have never said that. It was a bad fight, man. It was bad. It was anyway. I don't think.
Well, Buzz Aldrin actually talks about a lot of what we're talking about when it comes to aliens. So Buzz actually talked about that publicly.
Well, I met Buzz Aldrin and Edgar Mitchell in Washington D.C. at the Washington Press Club. I was doing a lecture there for the 9th X conference, I think, and 8th or 9th. Anyway, they were both there, and I was having lunch, and Buzz kept going. We never went to the moon, right? He was telling me that. I said, Buzz, shut up. I don't believe you. And finally, Edgar goes, you see, I fucking told you not to say that. He said, you said it one time as a joke, and look, half the planet now thinks we didn't go to the moon. He said, it's your fault. Wow. Steve was like, they were hilariously funny together. They really were. You could tell they had been friends for a long time because they really played off each other well.
Why do people think we haven't been there? I don't get it, man. You could take a telescope.
There's lots of reasons why.
You can steal the crap we left behind. Whenever humans go, we leave crap behind.
It's fake, conspiracy theories. They're all over the place.
There's all kinds of crap up there we left behind.
So, Fred, when did you join? When you
I was in the Marines. Yeah, I was in the Marines from 95 to 99, and then we had that little incident again in the Persian Gulf. So from 02 to 03, and then I worked as a contractor. Places that didn't exist. I had a clearance too, so you know how it goes.
Yeah, it's just like, it is. You don't exist, I know. I was 82 to 90, and and one of the reasons I got paid more is when I originally enlisted, I enlisted as a 4x10. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a reservist, in case you don't know. And they actually pay you more if you're a reservist. That's some bullshit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was happy, but when I found it out, I was like, wait,
doing more work.
I'm only going to be here for 2 years.
I found that when I was a reservist, I was just like, wait.
I'm like, okay, but but look, I'm not going to argue. When you give me more money, I'm not going to argue with you, but you do, because you're cramming stuff in on weekends and holidays. And I used to love going out to Fallon, Nevada for the bombing derbies. There was always a Marine company out there with us for some reason. I guess anytime we invited the Air Force out, they wanted the Marines there. You keep the peace, I guess. I don't know.
Because you want
it
to
doesn't matter.
Save your ass, you call the Marines.
There was going to be fights. There was going to be fights there no matter what. Well, that's true. But I mean, there was going to be fights there no matter what. I mean, you're working 48 hours on, 24 hours off. It's just nonstop. It's touch and goes. You're bombing shit, blowing shit up. You got pilots just, I don't know what they're hyped up on, caffeine probably. And it's just insane.
Marines are hard working. If when I thought about the military, and I know a lot of military people from World War II, that like around me, and then some from Vietnam, they're like, you go in the Marines, you're gonna have to work hard. And it's just dedication, working hard. It's like you want a light life, you go into the Air Force, or like maybe the Navy.
See, we shared a base when I was in San Diego. We actually shared a base with the Marines, but not all the Navy boot camps do.
The Air Force had the best accommodations and best food.
Because Air Force ain't real. That's like joining a girly service, man. All my friends that went to Air Force.
Well, sometimes you want to join a girly
6
service.
Weeks. I mean, 6 weeks of boot camp. What the hell is that?
You want to join a girly service. You need those bombs, man. The Marines call it, hey, we need an airstrike. Where's that come from? The girly service, man.
No, that's coming from the Navy. No, that's coming from the. They ain't no Air Force. Let me explain, Mike. There ain't no Air Force going to save no Marines. They might go save the Army, but the Navy's coming to save the Marines. They're not letting them half-ass Air Force pilots nowhere around our Marines, man. You can forget it.
You want the helicopters, man. You want them to swoop in and blow the hell out of everything.
Yeah, let me tell you what.
10 warthogs. Call a warthog.
Oh, you can't beat it. I love a warthog, man. I've seen warthogs in action. I love them things.
I love the sound of them.
Yeah, they're bad. I love
little tank killing little thingies. I just like them.
Harriers.
Oh yeah, Harriers were great. I remember first time I ever seen a
Harrier was unleashed on the for the public for the first time. It was amazing. What a cool jet.
I did a week on a Harrier carrier, catching up their electronics. Well, they were doing updates, is what they were doing to the Harriers.
Remember, it was called the jet jumper in the UK.
It was the
jet jumper.
They called it.
Sounds very horny, right? The jet jumper.
But I'd never been on a ship with like 3,000 Marines before. I was like, damn. That was crazy, man. Yeah. I thought the Navy guys were crazy. Ain't shit on the Marines.
A lot of testosterone.
It was, it was a lot of fun.
Whatever. Even the women have got a lot of testosterone.
It's
my friend Bobby was a Marine, and he got kicked out, dishonorable discharge for knocking out an NCO. When he told me that, I knew we'd be great friends. He was recon, man. He was a tough dude. He was like, you gotta be careful punching off. Very serious.
Find a gang of people on top of your head. It can get dangerous really fast.
He works at 7-Eleven as a manager of the night shift, man.
So what are you doing here with us? We'll shoot Michael in a minute. But what are you doing here with us tonight? What kind of trouble are you trying to get into? Jay's bad. You got to watch him start off with. He's the bad one.
I'm dark. I'm the quiet one. I know it. I look at my little box up there, and I can barely see myself.
Apparently, Mike's the dark one tonight. I'm not sure what the hell that's about. But no, Carmen was telling me all about you, and I said, well, yeah, because Carmen knows I like anybody who serves. Well, first off, thanks for your service. Because I like anybody who served, and because I know how it is to be getting your ass out there where you can get it shot at. And it's always different.
I had the same thing in Queens, though. I got my training in Brooklyn.
Queenstown.
The streets of Brooklyn. That's right.
Oh man, did y'all put something in my coffee? Give me a break, man. I'm gonna put my coffee over here. It gets warm again. So I mean, Carmen, you're not doing any books or anything.
Well, I'm going to find out more because I've been published in the Marine Corps, and I do have books out already. Most of my books are actually high-level advertising and marketing books for like people in the online industry and I have a book for like real estate professionals, a lot of sales training stuff, because that's what I did for like some of the major brands out there in the car business. So yeah, I've been under a lot of wraps and secrecy since
my
about
brother
November
did that too.
2020.
Yeah, it's that's well, and that's the other thing. Yeah, I know a lot of what you wrote you can't publish anyway.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
I did. I know. You know, it's funny because I just recently, when was it? It was about 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I did 3 days of testimony to Congress.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, the funny part was when I originally got the call, I was like, "Would you come?" I said, "Not if I got to do it in public." I said, "I have 3 companies I run." I said, "I can." I said, "No." I said, "The construction I'm retiring from, so it really didn't matter that much, but all the rest of the stuff I'm involved in, I'm kind of like, nah, you know." And then besides that, I already knew some of the stuff they were going to be like, "Oh no, I don't believe that," no matter what you say. So this was so funny. So she said, "Okay, we're gonna keep you for 3 days. We're gonna do a private thing." They didn't really know what they were going to do at first. And so we go over to Washington Press Room. They got this little room there. I call it like, it feels like it's airtight because it pops your ears while you're in there. That's how soundproof this damn thing is. So you're sitting there. So I told her, I said, before we start, I said, actually, it was even before we went in, I told her this. I said, before we start, this is a black-haired senator. I can't mention her name, but I said, why don't you call somebody from Langley and have a polygrapher come over here and hook me up?
Wow.
And the guy's like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, you know, I got a degree in voice stress analysis and facial and body regulations. Recognition. I said, why don't you come over? I said, because I don't want to have to stop every 15 minutes and convince you that I'm not lying. I said, it's the easiest way. So this guy from the Pentagon comes over, the lieutenant colonel, he goes, are you fucking serious? And I said, yeah. And he does it again. He said, are you really? He said, you know, I've been doing this kind of shit for a long time. No one's ever volunteered. No one's even ever said, go get somebody from Langley and bring him over here before. He's like, what the fuck? this guy's me. And I'm like, look, dude, I said, y'all going to ask me some fucked up questions. I'm going to tell you some really weird, crazy, scary shit. And you're going to want to know if I'm telling the truth or not. And like I said, I don't want. So he comes in, he hooks me all up. He does this little testing, determine what's a lie and what's the truth. So they start asking questions, and she's asking nonstop. And you're seeing these faces like, and they're looking at the polygrapher, and he's like, and she's like, and he like, so she goes, so right in the middle of it, we're like 2 hours in, 3 hours in, we're not even in the middle of the first quarter. She goes, well, I want to hear him say a lie. I said, well, that little love nest we were in last night was really hot, and the thing went. And she gave me this look like, I will choke you. And she looks over at the thing. He said, there's no doubt he was lying. And she's like, well, there's no way this can be true. So she comes back and she asked me this question about, people being taken. And I told her, and she just looked at me. She said, there is no, and she used a whole line of F words for like the next 5 minutes. This can be true. I said, well, it is. I said, we have 125,000 cases. Of course it's true. And I said, we do a comparison study. I said, ICAR's not out there to get famous or for anybody to know us. I said, we're there to get to the truth. That's all we're looking for. I said, and I said in the very beginning, I have no problem giving government information as long as they don't ask me for people's names. I don't have a problem because everybody in the organization.
It's got to also be common knowledge at this point because that's where I'm getting at. So I'm tracking with you 1,000,000%.
So, so we're going on. And then we get to this point. So they cater in lunch because they didn't want to stop. And I said, well, I want a steak. Y'all kill him, man. I need some proteins. It's like a comes out with this cowboy rib. I said, man, I'm liking you people. Listen, this ain't bad. So we get to talking again. And this guy from the Pentagon kept going and hearing the notes. And she finally just said, why don't you just come up here and ask him questions? So he starts asking me about different things, about different crafts and different designs and different things I've seen and talked to and people who may have been taken and experienced this. And he was just, at one point, he was just boom, boom, boom. And I'm just answering him. He said, your answer's so crisp and clean. He said, even if you were lying, I wouldn't think you were lying. He said, your research is impeccable. I said, dude, I've been doing it for 40 years. Of course it is. I said, I didn't just fucking start doing this yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was just stunned. And then I still remember this Marine commander. He comes over. It's late. It's dinner time, and we're sitting down eating, and we're talking. He said, you're not going to get unhooked up? I said, nah, I'm just going to eat. And he said, dude, you're scaring the fucking shit out of me. He said, I cannot sit here and think what you're telling me is true because, honestly, it's scaring it out of me. He said, do you know how long I've been in the Marines? I looked at him and said, I don't know. He said, 40 years. He said, 30. I think he said 37 years. I just rounded up, but he was in. He said, I could have already retired twice. He said, but they won't let me out. And he said, now I've talked to you.
Kind of stuff is interesting because my buddy actually worked at not Janet Airlines, because I'm talking about there, but he actually worked he was PAO for Area 51. So he says there's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of weird stuff goes on out there.
Yeah.
It's it's interesting because for people like you got the right clearance. So there's people that would talk to you because they know we can't say anything. They know it. So they would come up and say, hey, Fred, this and this is true and this is how it works. And right then and there, well, it appeases you, but it can't appease anybody else, because if it does, your ass is going to some deep, dark hole in Area 51.
Yeah. Don't forget the bread and water.
No. And then bread and water, too. Yeah, people know, I'm going to tell y'all now, in the military, bread and water is a real thing.
Very real.
They still do bread and water. Yes, they do. So you don't want to go to jail.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They
got that nice government cheese, though. You know what I mean? Like, they have like a nice...
Yeah, I would like that though, because I grew up in the hood, so I was all about.
Hell yeah, government.
Oh, don't feel bad. I grew up next to the hood.
on some Wonder Bread.
Shit,
Wonder
when I lived
Bread.
in New Orleans, all of New Orleans.
Hey, what you know about the Wonder Bread, the mayonnaise, and the banana though? Seriously.
My
grandmother used to go to where the senior citizens were in my town. And we went to the rec center. They used to like push government cheese. Take it, and you don't have to tell me twice. Try to give me a 5-pound block of cheese. I'll take it, man.
Grilled cheese forever, and the blocks lasted, and we good.
It was good though. It was great, as a matter of fact.
Well, yeah, they usually give you pretty decent cheese. What's that, Frank?
The government's got good food.
I don't. What do you mean? Why you want to know if he's married? I don't think I don't know. You'd have to ask him. But this is wrong show for that. Try Saturday night, okay? Yes.
Who's married?
No. Frank asked me if Fred was married, and I was like, I don't know if we even want to go there. I mean, like you got a crush on this guy or something? What's going on? Well, I'm just saying. So anyway, Laura Lean, what are you doing? Well, no, he was deployed, so he's seen some action. But working in the fields Fred was in, he was probably exposed to stuff that was probably actually more dangerous than being in the field.
Yeah. That, and I was also exposed to the high level.
How is standing on a carrier deck directing planes less dangerous?
No. What he was doing, really and seriously, what he was doing is actually very dangerous. It's hard to explain to people if you've never been involved in it before, but somehow or another, our friends and our enemies seem to be able to follow the pipeline sometimes. And if you happen to be in the pipeline, guess what the fuck? You're now dead. That's nice. I can't even say it any nicer than that. I mean, that's pretty much how it works out. Yeah. We had a guest a couple of months back that was actually wanted to communicate. He was in where was he? He was in Iraq. He was doing he was breaking codes in Iraq. He was a guest not too long ago, and he got shot twice while he was there.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's just part of it. And Jennifer, yes, being on a carrier is dangerous. I mean, there's not a look, being a cook in the military is dangerous. Okay. I'm just telling you, y'all don't understand.
It is. And they got to get up early too. And they still have to be alert. It's really dangerous. Like,
and they're cranky when they don't, and don't talk about their food. Even if it sucks, don't talk about their food. Cause you're not going to be happy. I was talking about brown bag lunches the other day. I'll never forget them nasty things. Well, I guess they weren't all nasty, but I mean, a lot of them were nasty, but they weren't all nasty. I don't know. It's been a long time.
Bag nasties, man. We call them bag nasties.
Boy, you know what? Well, I still remember I was going, where were we? We had to go over to Virginia. Oh, we were in Norfolk and Virginia. They flew us out there. And because Nimitz was in port, or she was getting overhauled is what she was doing, really. And there was nothing for me to do because everything I'd done on the tower was done. So I was off doing other stuff, and they sent me out there. I still remember, I was like, it was the first time I ever went into an officer's mess or an officer's club. Because I'd only made officer when I was on the ships. I had never been on it was always enlisted for me. I remember walking in, and I said, well, these son of a bitches, no wonder they're always good. Guys, I'm just telling you, officers live way better than this poor listed men did.
Did you go to the O Club?
Yes, I did. And then what I'm saying, it was just so much different than it was, because I don't even know how to explain it. If you're not in the service, I can't even explain it to you. But when it was like, when I remember the first time we used to go to this place. It was for enlisted. It was an enlisted club, and we used to go in there. It was, don't get me wrong, they had pizza and food and games and pool and all sorts of shit to do. So, but I remember the first time I walked into Officers Club, and I was like, this place has got furry little things on. Man, I'm telling you, people, it was like a Richie place. I'm just telling you, it was not what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was not it. And it was a big, huge place with shit all over the place. And there was cute girls in there too, to boot. I was like, look at this. I said, boy, thank God I made Officer. This is a much better way. And the officers ate better. They had better mess. Well, actually, it was nice because you could sit down and eat. You didn't have to have 80 or 180 guys with you, bumping you around, knocking you around, making noise. It's even I don't really mind either way. I enjoyed my time in service, either as enlisted or officer. I enjoyed it both ways. I thought it was a lot of fun. I didn't think it was enough fun to re-up for another 6 years, but because I got a 2-year extension, I couldn't turn it down. They offered me, what was it, $40,000 to do 2 years, and I was like, I looked at the guy like, you fucking with me, and he goes. He's like, no, really, Joe, they really like you on the carrier. He said, you do really good. He said, everybody talks about you. And I still remember this because I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And my commander from Special Forces seen me on the base. He goes, and what happened to you? He said, you loved what you were doing. I said, yeah. I said, but obviously they love me more here. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, because they transferred me. I said, anytime the captain of the USS Nimitz transferred, you don't say no, dude. You know that. He's like, he said, what do you mean? I said, he personally requested me off of the flight line and out of your service into his. And I was like, and made me an officer. I said, shit. I said, I actually outrank you now, man. You better watch it. He was,
did they have you on special staff?
He was, yeah, they did actually. And he was, what was he? He was a master chief. I used to give him, I used to give him shit all the time about it. Cause I remember when I met him, he was an E6. I remember when he got promoted and he's like, you're a what? I said, well, I'm a lieutenant junior grade. He's like, what? He said, how in the hell? I said, don't ask me, buddy. It's just how it works. But I was considered special staff because between the security clearance and the ways I was promoted, it was, so, and at some point I knew if I stayed in, it was going to catch up with me, meaning that somewhere they would have had to slow me down. They would have probably made me make lieutenant, maybe even lieutenant commander, but I guarantee you they'd have slowed me down right there.
Put you in war college or something.
Yeah, they would have just said, no, you're moving up too fast. And since there was no combat experience involved, I had duty experience. I mean, I was because I had what do you call it? Shit, because I was in charge of people, whatever the hell I called it. No, people, not everybody in the Navy's in charge of people. It doesn't work that way.
So you were ESWAS. You were ESWAS, and you were in a Mustanger, right? Yeah, we were. No, I can't even remember. It's too long ago. Usually, like if you're ESWAS, that shows like the surface warfare that you're like.
Yeah, well, I was at everything on the. All I can tell you for sure is at one point I had a bunch of these freaking things all over my arms, and then they finally incorporated them into one. It was yay big around it. It fit right here, and it had, I can't even mention this. Anyway, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces of equipment up there, which are even to this day still classified. And all of them did something different, What do you mean, Jack? No, some of them were advanced radar. I can talk about that, but I can't tell you what they actually were or what they actually did. All I can tell you is they could see farther. How's that?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something nobody knew that the Nimitz had. It is still classified, but it's a low classification. It had built-in sonar. First ship I'd ever been on with a sonar on board the ship. I was like, what the hell does it need a sonar for? I mean, it's not like it's going underwater or anything.
Line sweeping, man.
Yes, I found it later on what it was for. And then one of my favorite things and one of my favorite memories was I was talking last night about this. It's I still remember the very first day. I was not first day, but the first time I ever seen this. I was working a flight. I was flight captain. I was out there doing my thing, and we had a tender coming in, and so the guy in charge has to go over and make sure everything's connected correctly. We don't have to connect it, but we have to make sure everything's connected. So I'm standing there, and I'm talking to the CTO. I said, why is the tender so far away from the carrier? They usually come in within about 50 feet. He said, look over. I said, what do you mean? He said, look over. I look over. Guess what's down there? A boomer sitting right up against, almost touching the side of the carrier. And as we got everything set up, the ship pulled in about another 15 feet. There may have been 8 feet on each side that sub. and they're just cruising along. And shit's going down there, shit's coming across, shit's going down there, shit's coming across. And then some stuff was just coming across and then being brought down through the side of the ship and out the hatch on the side and given
Was
to
it an
them.
unrep?
Yeah, it was. I've never seen anything like this, man.
Wow.
And I could understand if we were like at war or something. I didn't, for some reason, it just didn't register why they were doing it. It seemed like an unnecessary risk for a sub carrying nuclear weapons. I was just like, now granted, nuclear weapons aren't as dangerous as you think. They don't just go off by themselves, but still, that big ass sub had a nuclear reactor on. If it blew up, so did a Nimitz. It would have been one hell of an explosion. Yeah. They did it 3 times while I was on a Nimitz. I still to this, and I asked my captain. He says, none of your business.
Were you out in the Gulf, or were you out like modified location?
So first time we did it, we were sitting 1,500 miles due north of Hawaii.
Okay.
Just in the middle of nowhere. Second time we did it, we were actually sitting in about 5,000 feet of water, but we were actually not far from Panama. And then I forgot what the other one was. Oh, no. The other one was on what they call the flip, but we were turning around to come back up. We was in the Antarctic, let me rephrase that. In the Antarctic region is the best way of saying that. And that's the first time I ever seen a Nimitz go down there. Usually she turns around, comes back, goes around, floats around, sits in some places for days on end. I never understood that either. We just park, not anchor, just park.
Mod lock. Yeah, that's mod lock. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, so we just be. I mean, don't get me wrong. We were running missions. We had stop and goes going. We were testing equipment, testing launchers, testing all sorts of. I can't say those either, but all kind of equipment that seeing things. People, we got stuff. You'd be amazed some of the stuff they got on these carriers. It's not. People always think, well, they're not really well armed. My ass. That's all I can say. They're better armed than you think they are. Not including 118 fighter jets they got on top of it.
Yeah, they run the battle group, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny to watch. But I remember we got and I was there when we got our first F-18s. Oh, wow. I was there for the retirement of the F-4 Phantoms. And I remember the guy said, you got to get them ready. They're going to Iran. I was like, what do you mean? He said, yeah, we're selling them like 50 of them. I'm like, what? He said, yeah. I said, the A4 was a badass plane back in the day. He's like, yeah, well, it's nothing compared to the F-18. I'm like, well, I guess you're right. And so we had to get a bunch of them ready. And then the Tomcats were always getting worked on. And F-18s were great. They flew like a beast. Smaller, faster, still carried the same payload. They couldn't go ballistic like the F-14s, though. They weren't like that. And of course, there's nothing compared to an F-22 Raptor.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you because you've been in the service. So I know you've seen things being purchased and bought and different equipment. Why in the hell did we decide we're going to go with one type plane when the F-22 is far a better plane than the F-35 is, but neither one were built to land on a carrier? What what's that about? I mean, because the Navy said we're going to go with these planes, and then none of them. I was just absolutely befuddled by that. I'm like, okay, we got to have planes that go in carriers, right? I mean, we have aircraft carriers. That's what we have them for. I was confused, man. I didn't know. And then of course, the way those planes are designed, they can't have folded wings.
Yeah. So it's like whatever is mission critical, because that's where the Marines are. It's like a Swiss Army knife of the military. So
yeah.
So the Marines are super specialized. That's why even with me, the first thing that I was taught was to forget everything, learn everything about all branches of service, including civil service, including Coast Guard, because they were out there doing visual board searches and seizures. So everything is like a well-oiled, complex Swiss watch, right? Everything has its own function and variables. But even when I was out there doing some of these exercises and real world stuff, as you know, the problem that you have is that you need to have those specialized tools in order to have the mission accomplishment than the true welfare. So they have been engineered and designed for specific functions, the V-22 Ospreys. They were getting phased in while we were getting rid of the CH-46s as an example, right?
Yeah.
46s have been around forever. They've been around since the 70s. Then you got the CH-53 Sea Stallions, right? And then you have the Army with their nomenclature and their stuff. But the reality of it is the Marines, especially like for FAST company, fleet anti-terrorism security teams, they have to be very flexible, but the machinery needs to be in and out like a robbery. It's a high speed, low drag, fast extraction, get it done, special forces type situation on all levels, at least in the Marine Corps.
Well, I know the Marines have the F-35s that land on the carrier, on the Harrier carrier, or a jump carrier, whatever they want to call it these days. Every time I talk to somebody, it's different. But the Navy, they just now, and that was what, a couple of months ago, they landed the first F-35 on one. And I'm thinking, guys, I mean, don't get me wrong, F-18 is great, but compared to the F-22 or the F-35, it's not in their league. I mean, it's a great aircraft.
That's the thing about like even the Warthogs as an example. The Warthogs are specifically designed for CQB, close quarter combat, right? So you've got to have something that's designed to really have maximum impact and very efficient. So that's what I've observed from being in it, you know?
Yeah. It's well, one of our hosts used to be a tank commander. As a matter of fact, he guest hosting the show from time to time. He's them tank boys are messy. Them tank boys are messed up in the head. I'm just telling you, man. Yeah. Too many bumps in the tank. I'm just saying.
Those guys are commanders, BCs too, for light armor vehicles.
They get bounced. It's just too funny, actually. Oh, what's that, Kirby? No, communications. So how can I explain this? So communications in the military is not like communications in everyday world. Everything is coded. I mean, everything goes out. I mean, some of it's just pish stuff that they're sending out, whatever. It doesn't really make difference if somebody breaks into it, but it's still going to be on a code. But when you start getting into some of this other stuff, it's heavily encrypted. You a lot of times they'll have a card or a disk or probably a chip these days or something. Yeah, something, just something that'll get it working. Well, no, because it's more than just a code. Because if someone was to break you and get the code, if they can put the code in, but without the chip, it's not going to work. It's just gonna do whatever. It'll probably self-destruct if you do it more than once or twice. I mean, it's and that kind of stuff is dangerous because then the person who's got it, you didn't cooperate. It's a good chance somebody just come out and shoot you in the head just for GP. It's a dangerous job, people. It's dangerous. And like I said, when you're in the military unit, whatever you select in the military. Oh, you mean the guys what? No, the Air Force is not real military. They're like the girly military. No, I mean, all kind of Air Force people, right? Okay, look, honestly, and I'm gonna say this as nicely as I can. If you want to join the military and you want the easiest time you can, both in boot camp and serving, join the Air Force. Even the Coast Guard is harder than the Air Force is.
Yeah, I don't know. Airborne, they're pretty tough, man.
It's not that they're not tough. It's just when it comes right down to it. I mean, first they get 6 or 8 weeks of boot camp. I did 14 weeks of boot camp.
The Coast Guard, you have to learn to I think you have to swim like 500 meters.
Oh yeah, they drop you out in the middle ocean sometimes. It depends.
Yeah, you got to. Swimming is tough in the ocean, so
or your mod is whatever it is, but. It's
they're also out there in the during, like I said, the visual board searches and seizures out in the Persian Gulf because we had them on our team because they have the power to arrest civilians. We didn't. So
yeah, that's true too. They do, and Jimmy, because the Coast Guard's not actually military like you think of the Army, the Navy, Air Force, and the Marines. Those are actually military. The Coast Guard is more like a
Department of
Transportation. They're kind of like the National Guard, a little less. It's hard to explain, but they can just do, well, the National Guard can make arrests as long as the governor says they can.
Yeah.
So if you don't understand what the National Guard is, the National Guard, if you ever hear people bitch about gun rights, so technically the Second Amendment doesn't say you have the right to own guns. It says you have the right to form a militia. Okay, so which means we can all have a big militia and everybody in the militia can have guns. And in that case,
the right
guns
to bear on and own bear.
No, it says the right to form militia. You better go read the damn.
It says that too.
It's but it doesn't say anywhere in it that you can walk around with a gun in damn Walmart. I'm just telling you now. You better go read it. It's not what
says right.
It's not what the founding fathers
right
meant.
In the second paragraph on the big box stores.
That's not what the founding fathers meant.
You can walk around with your AR-15.
It was designed.
Open carry.
Yeah, it was designed. It was designed to challenge the government. And you know what happened?
Open carry laws are statewide. I mean, that's
some states. No, you can't even carry a gun in California.
California, you got to jump through fire hoops. You have fire hoops had to jump through getting a handgun license for New York City.
When I told LA I was bringing my mechanic with me, they like to have a heart attack. Hey Leah, how you doing, sweetie? I mean, literally, hello. They like to have a heart attack. Now that gun, I've traveled many times with a gun. I've never had any problems with it. I put it in my suitcase. I show it to the people at the thing. They look at it. They put the orange tag in the suitcase. Boom, the gun goes, no problem. The only thing they won't let me carry is live ammunition, and they will on some planes. It just depends on the plane. If it's pressurized, you can bring your ammo. If it's not pressurized, you can't. I don't know why, because every military plane that I've ever seen carrying any kind of anything was unpressurized. But we're not going to go there. We're going to leave that alone because I don't know what that's about.
So real quick, here is the actual wording of the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right, and that's what it's talking about. So in order for you to have a militia, you have to own a gun.
Joe?
But only for use in a militia. Yeah, actually, because back then it was pitchforks and swords and God knows what else. Sorry, guys, I needed that coffee. We got to go to break in a second too, but
we're a little bit, we are.
Yeah, it's
I'm part of a militia called the Angry Moms Militia.
Well, they be militias now. It's the National Guard.
Me as part of the group, but I'm not an angry mom per se. But
you know that, right, Mike? There used to be militias.
They're the badasses on the planet. Angry moms. I
kind of miss the idea of having a militia, actually. But the militia became the National Guard.
Remember when militias went crazy? They were blowing things up. That Timothy McVeigh. Remember that guy?
That's not a militia. That was insane people is what that was. And you know what's interesting about him? He served in the military.
Yep. He was Army, I think.
Buffalo.
Yes, he was. And he knew his shit. Come on, this guy took fertilizer and blew the whole front of a freaking federal building off. I mean, just boom.
Well,
he bought all the ingredients from like
diesel, primer cord, and what was it? Ammonium
nitrate. What was the guy in the Texas Suppository? What was he, if I remember right? Oh, he was a Marine.
He was a Marine.
But
the only reason I'm saying this is
but look at all this JFK crap that just came out, and now people are unraveling because they're realizing it was a military coup with these oil companies and whatever. But who did Oswald work for? Prescott Bush, which was a huge owner of oil companies. But Oswald ain't the one that killed him. The guy that had his company taken away in World War II for giving aid and comfort to the Nazis, the same guy spawned 2 presidents out of that.
Yeah, but that's not who killed Kennedy. Actually, you wouldn't know who killed Kennedy, just go read Jim Mars's book.
Jim Morrison?
Jim Mars.
He wrote
read his book. If you want to know, if you really want to know, because he's got he ended up somehow or another, he ended up with all Jim Garrett's material. I don't know how he did it.
All I know is that Kennedy didn't want to go. It was Johnson who was like, you have to, and he convinced him to. But now all this new information is coming out. People losing their minds.
See, that's not true. Kennedy wanted to go to Texas, and it was Kennedy's idea to have the top off the thing. Kennedy just didn't want to take the road they took.
Coming out, it's totally different. You got to see it, man. I just saw a little bit.
You don't have to see it. You can hear Kennedy in his own words say, "I'm not going with the top up. I want the people to realize they can be. I'm touchable." He said that. That's his words. He said that at a news meeting before he got in a limousine.
Yep.
There's no way getting around that. It's his words. He said it. He wanted it that way. The only problem is he didn't want to take the route he did. Johnson changed the route.
But he got
not
named.
once, but twice. No, actually, I think it was 3 times.
3 times.
3 times he changed the route. So and that's what Kennedy.
So Kennedy wanted to go right from the airport straight to the trademark, which would have gone straight down. I believe it's Houston or Elm.
Fred said he was there. People, he knows what the fuck that.
Oswald was a Marine.
But said no. You should take this turn down there. And then Kennedy said, okay, whatever. Kennedy got on the plane. He said, no, change it back. I want to go straight. So they changed it back.
Yeah, because that turn gives them the time to shoot. And the fact, I don't know why they ever did the Oswald thing. I mean, you can clearly see when the shot's fired that the piece of the brain goes forward, which means the bullet came, or goes backward. I'm sorry. It goes backward. So it came from the front.
As Kennedy's car is turning the corner into Dealey Plaza. There's no way he ran up 8 flights of stairs, unwinded, cooked off 4 rounds in less than 11 seconds.
It wouldn't have mattered because the shot that killed Kennedy came from the front of his head. I mean, you've seen the piece. That's what I'm saying. You've seen the piece of. I mean, that's what's so nice about video. You've seen the head get hit, and you've seen the piece of the head come out and go to the back behind him, which means the shot
likes the brains.
If it would have came from the back, the shit would have went forward, not backwards. Besides, the rounds that what's his name had should have went all the way through. So whatever this was a smaller round, probably.
You have to understand, there's a lot of people that wanted that guy gone, and also he shared a girlfriend with Sam Giancana.
The one I'm really more interested in is,
you know what I mean? They were really afraid that those secrets are going out the window. It was a very paranoid time in the American government, and they're looking at this guy sleeping around, telling everybody all kinds of stuff. You gotta go. It's temporary.
Well,
anyway.
because it's Black History Month, Trump's going to release the MLK documents. I'm really interested to see who was involved in this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely interested to see.
He was my hero, that dude.
But I just want to see who it was.
Powerful guy, Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta King too. You know what? The kids I don't care for, but the two of them, man, just powerful, and to be selfless and so. I mean, he was hardcore. I've read a lot, know a lot about him. I went to all black school in the 6th grade, so I know a lot about Martin Luther King Jr. But he was like, wow, you're listening to these stories and you're trying to compare them to like any kind of like freaking superhero. This guy was, and then he had this mission in his mind. He like, I'll tell you, man, I respect it. I really respect and terrible what they did to him. And then, whoever was responsible, but we all know what was responsible.
Well, who was it we had on here? What was his name? Dexter. No, I just said Dexter, and I'm thinking, well, no, that's not Sean. Dexter King was on this show when Stephanie and I used to host it. We had just done a really big special on abortion, and part of it was with the black community. And his people actually contacted us and asked if he could be part of it. And I said, sure, no problem at all. Just, set it up and with our people and we'll set it up with yours and let them go. It was a good show. It's still available. It's still posted. It did really well. I think it's over 11 million people viewed it, listened to it since then, because it was before the days of television, people, but our television anyway.
Who has guts like that these days? Like, who's that powerful these days?
I don't know.
Who
it just depends.
He was trying to lead something. He was trying to put the message out there. You know what I mean? It was more about.
He was trying to change the world, my friend. That's what he was trying to do.
The motion of things,
And unfortunately, in America, you don't change America without somebody dying. It just, Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Bobby.
Kennedys,
we go back to a couple other presidents. It just, or at least shoot them, like Trump or Reagan. It's amazing how Reagan came out as a hero after what's his name got his brains blown out, the Brady guy, and then and here's Trump gets nicked in the thing and easily carries the country.
And then you got McKinley and Taft, both who were gut shot and died, days, months, weeks later.
What do you mean I have something against Trump? Look, right now I have anything against Trump. Him and Elon can do what they want. I'm watching their asses. Every week we talk about them here. We talk about their numbers. We talk about them.
Be careful.
We're keeping an eye on the whole bunch of them.
I'm liking what he's doing. So what does that mean?
I don't know. But
he's going to change. I didn't like the rhetoric. I didn't like all the baby bull crap. Just the low talk. You know what I mean? Just low level mentality talk. Making fun of people and doing all that stuff. Yeah. Just useless, pointless.
He's got his hands full. If Trump can pull off even half the shit he said, he will go down the greatest president in history. If he don't, he's going to go down as the next Jimmy Carter.
I think people are ready to unite. I think people are ready. He's got the chance.
My Democrat friends are tired of it.
But I like when he's appointed.
When we do the polls right now, about 40 or 50% of Democrats are liking what he's doing. Nobody's really upset.
I'm talking about billionaires, man. What's left for them? They already own everything great. They already got everything. They don't have to steal it, or at least not like a buy.
Okay, but that doesn't mean anything, Mike. Billionaires.
It's the game. It's making deals, man. Look at Zelensky. They already fried his nuts, man. They already fried his nuts, serving them up You know what I mean? Now he's like,
Lazinski's going to do whatever Trump tells him
he's
to
going to
do.
get on a private plane with
he's on it. Jeff Bezos is the same way. But
he
George Soros, Michael, and Cuban and Microsoft ain't going to.
Soros
they
is going to fall off the face of the planet. You can see Soros, man.
Soros has too much money to fall off the face
of
the planet.
And Mark Cuban's too much of an arrogant ass to do anything different. Yeah, he's not going to.
Well, it's like when my liberal friends say, I can't believe they have Democrats working for them. I said, you ever heard of George Soros or Mark Cuban?
Yeah.
And you know what killed me? Just the other day, I'm listening to Bill Gates and George Soros talk about, population control. I'm thinking, yeah, fuck you, population control. You live in a big multi-mansion. What do you care? You got big gates around your place. You don't give a shit. I mean, really. We need to reduce the population to 1 billion. Okay, Mr. Billionaire, since there's, what is there now? Probably 10,000, 15,000 billionaires, a couple of hundred million millionaires. So who's going to do all your work? I can't imagine one of you billionaires out there cleaning your toilets. I mean, come on. No, robots, because somebody's got to fix them robots, Mike. No, see, the world don't work like that.
The robots, they're already fixing each other.
And then they'll kill the billionaires, so that's not going to work either. Billionaires aren't that trusting.
I keep track of
billionaires are going to want people. Slavery is a thing in the world that's not going away.
If you own a robot and the thing goes berserk and kills someone, you don't get charged for manslaughter. You know that?
Yes, you do. Actually, that's not true though. You do.
The warranty.
No, because all they're going to say is you got in there and changed the wiring and it killed somebody.
I had a waiver, officer.
It's speaking of that, did you see today?
Crazy.
You see this is why I don't keep any crypto online. 1.4 billion stole today. 1.4 billion.
I don't know what she said. She went crazy.
Adios, amigos, man. So that's why people, ladies and gentlemen, look, best thing to do if you're going to invest in Bitcoin, a little bit or not, or mining, put it in cold storage. You can put it on a thumb drive or anything like that. Just don't keep it online because let me explain how this works. Once it's gone, it's gone. It's not yours. The guy gets it. Too bad. It's his money now. Oh, yeah. So far, if I remember correctly, we're over $3 billion stolen in Bitcoin now. It seems to happen about once a year. And it seems like they're getting bigger and bolder every year.
Oh, yeah,
what's that, Christopher? Bitcoin is finite. It's still got a ways to go, but it is finite in the fact that there's only going to be so many Bitcoins. The real problem for miners today is this thing called the 36-core computer. So in the old days, with a single core, it took about a little over a year to mine one coin. Today, with 36-core computers maxed out on RAM and memory and put on boards stacked up and down in 5 million square foot factories, they're pumping. I got a friend of mine who owns a piece of one. He bought into this for $1 million. His wife almost divorced him. It was their savings, everything. This son of a bitch is worth $67 million now and growing.
That's what they do now. Art is a huge investment.
No, this ain't art. This is Bitcoin. It's all this is. They're mining their own Bitcoin.
But what about Willow though? Willow's got quantum computing, so that kind of cracked everything.
Yeah, and see that gets in a whole different thing because you got Willow, and then of course we've got Willow, and then we've got our AIs, and then we've got the Japanese new carbon chip coming out that doesn't get hot. The lowest they can run it at is 150,000 gigahertz. I'm like, what is this? Really? What the hell are you going to do with this thing? I don't know. It's going to be more. That one chip's going to have more computer power in the whole United States. It's ridiculous.
Have you guys heard of virtual coins or virtual collectible coins? Some of the guys at work were following a Trump coin, and it was a virtual, like a Bitcoin thing.
So
if you bought into it for like $1, at some point they said, "Oh, it's going to be like worth $1 million." I'm like, well, who follows a damn a virtual collectible coin?
I'm glad you brought that up, Jay. That should be a cautionary tale for everyone who wants to invest in stupid shit. So it was way up when they invest. I mean, it was way up. Trump's coins were way, way up, and then it went. So if you invested like in the first week, you got your ass handed to you. Maybe they might come back up. They might. I mean, I was offered 500 Bitcoins for, it was like $5 a piece. way back when. I wish I would have took them because I'd be worth, God, Jesus, $200-300 million today.
Mm-hmm.
It's but I never thought about it. It's fake money. When we're going to go to fake money? I'm confused.
Yeah, why is it?
See, Fred said he likes fake money. I'm no fake money, people. Real money. I need something I can touch.
What is real money?
Yeah,
that's a question, isn't it? We got to go to break because we're way past break. But
it's stuff you can spend.
Yeah,
a couple of sunspots.
We're gonna bring. We're always supposed to have Fred.
I want to get a Steve Wozniak me $2 notebook.
There you go. You're gonna hang out with us for longer, Fred? Because I know Sean. I mean, Carmen said we only had you for an hour, but you're welcome to stay if you want to hang out more with us because I'm enjoying your company. Ladies and gentlemen, we're playing Mardi Gras music because it's Mardi Gras.
Because Jay and I bore him mostly.
It's Jay's sexy. What are you talking about? And he's pregnant.
Well, sometimes we kind of hog the mic away from Joe, and then he doesn't like that all the time.
That's right. God blanket darn it. See, you almost made me curse there. You know, I'm trying to give that cursing up, people. Damn.
You're gonna have Air Force people after you tonight.
This woman Christy writes to me the other day. She goes, Joe, I hear you do 5 shows a week. She said, I hear you 3 shows. You never curse at all. She said, I've listened to you do you on the cover for 30 years and never even heard you say one curse word. She said, I turned on the chat one day and it was like, F. She's like, Jesus, I said, you did know I was in the Navy, right? She's like, what? I said, I was a sailor, baby. All sailors can curse. I'm sorry to say. I said, it's like
from New York City. It's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing. I said, it's just
the airport is good.
What it is for me is it's just good stress relief. Sorry.
It's a simple word that has multiple meanings.
It does. What is that, Frankie? No, I don't know. We're going to probably pay. Let's see what we can find right quick. Since it's Mardi Gras down here. Well, no, I usually carry.
Yeah, I got a song for you that might work. You let me know.
Okay. If it's so usually I Mardi Gras Day I usually carry on a network live. Well, YouTube decided.
There you go.
Fuck you, Joe, and gave us a strike. So I was like, oh, fuck you too. How's that? See, y'all making me curse, man. It's bad. We got company tonight. I shouldn't be cursing. We got company in the house. It's what you talking about? No, we're just play this right now. People go away.
It is an R-rated show though, so
oh shit. It's like R with a little hidden X in it. It's
When I was a teenager, my friend's little brother, and
here we go, guys. You're out.
Oh, never mind. There we go.
Yeah. Woo! Give me a White Russian, a hand grenade, and say the other one.
Mint Julep, man.
Screaming orgasm.
Mint Julep territory.
No, that's Mint Juleps are the race. Georgia.
That's Canal Street right there.
Yeah, come on, New Orleans, Mint Julep, man. Louisiana.
At this time, you heard that second verse, the tops will be coming off. So if boobies in, binge you.
Very, very festive.
While you go to New Orleans, you ought to go see the Mardi Gras.
I can imagine the hillbillies crawling through the swamps.
If you go to New Orleans, you ought to go see the Mardi Gras.
Scary.
When you see the Mardi Gras, somebody'll tell you what's carnival for. Get your ticket in your hand. You wanna go to New Orleans. Get your ticket in your hand. You wanna go to New Orleans. When you get to New Orleans, somebody'll show you the Zulu King. You will see the Zulu King.
Yeah, you see the Zulu King, you better get a coconut. Them things like gold down here.
You see the Zulu King down on St. Claude and Dumas. And if you stay right there,
thank you kindly,
I'm sure
guys.
You'll see the Zulu Queen.
You and Rex are always great. Oh my God, Professor Longhair. What a weird song that was right there.
Great.
If y'all are hanging out in Mardi Gras, hang out. What's going on? Oh, wait, well, I'm not on cam. Oh, I think Fred had to leave. Damn, I was having fun. He's a nice guy. What's that, Frank? No, I like anybody who's done their service time and worked hard in the military and understands how it works, because without it, there is no America. Without a military, there is no America. Come on. Russia, China, shit, even Venezuela come take over. We didn't have military. Hell, what are you talking about? Mexico would already invaded. Maybe them Canadians might have invaded. Oh, shit, that's really scary. It's yes, it is. No, it was just a quick song. We got a couple of promos coming up, but we got some news we're going to talk about when we get back. There's a couple of things I want to talk about. Well, the Bitcoin was one of them, because $1.4 billion just bam. And my friends always wonder. I always tell them it's going to happen. They're like, no, and boom, then it happens. But anyway.
When they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
Dun.
What's out there? What creates the shadows in the corners or the creatures of the dark? Who are those on the other side? What do they have to say? This is the Gateway Podcast. This is not your normal style of paranormal talk radio. Brought to you live from United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM New Orleans.
Dun, 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 dun.
Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fiestro, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms, Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
Dun, dun, dun. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, we had to get a couple of promos in there and say hi to everybody in the world and see what's going on out there. No, well, the song was quick. I just came by to say hi a couple of minutes, and then we're back. Now I think Fred had to go. Yeah,
Go, man, he's gone.
Yeah, I hate to see him go. He's one of
Not
the
even
things.
say goodbye to us.
I know. I'm heartbroken. It's nice guy. I think he is. What are you talking about? What the Zulu song offended him? Why would that? That's Mardi Gras music. What are you talking about? You on crack, man?
Well, man.
It's Oh no, that song's older than I am. That's Jesus. Well, Mardi Gras has been around for a long time. 140.
What's up with the Mardi Gras cake? I bought one of those little plastic toys, and I'm like, that's very vicious.
No, you take the little thing and you stick it in the cake somewhere from underneath, and then whoever gets the damn baby's got to buy the next cake.
I went to a store here that had little toys in there, like little choking type of stuff. Man, what is wrong?
Yeah, because it's not. They don't give a shit. Look, that cake with that baby's been around 100 years, man. No, I mean they do it in school. So most schools during Mardi Gras time will have a king cake, and whoever gets the baby, their parents got to buy the next king cake.
One baby gets stuck up in there somewhere.
One baby, that's it.
But not like 50 of these little toys.
Just one little baby. Sometimes it's pink, sometimes it's black, sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's green, sometimes it's yellow. It could be whatever color baby they got in a thing, but whatever, they stick it in there somewhere.
And what do you win if you get the baby?
You don't. You got to buy the next cake. You don't win, you lose. You got to buy the next cake, man. You know.
Well, I mean,
cakes cost
I don't consider losing if I have to buy a cake for somebody.
Wait. Say that again, Jay. How much is
one of them big ass cakes cost? $200?
Nah, big.
I'm happy to buy you guys a cake. I'll buy you both a cake.
$50 probably.
I'm happy to do it.
When I was a kid, you could get a king cake like this for about $10.
I'll get you both a Carvel cake, man.
But now, I mean, you get specialty ones filled with cream cheese and Bavarian cream and all sorts of shit. But traditionally, they're just cinnamon and sugar. That's on a cake dough, and that's pretty much it. It's nothing really special.
Marijuana.
You throw some marijuana in there, but you can't send those to the kids, though.
Get some marijuana.
Now, you know what I would try to try marijuana in would be beignets, because I like a good beignet, man. And beignets are kind of airy, so I don't know how it would do with the pot, but it would be interesting to find out. What's that? We can talk about fucking pot if we want. Screw you. How's that?
THC, and they
fucking rude to me.
Down to the butter, and then it's activated, and then the cookies and whatever.
I was just thinking, you dip the beignet in drawn marijuana butter or something.
Well, no, I mean you'd have to convert it to whatever kind of oil you use to make a beignet, whether it's milk or butter or oil, whatever.
Sure.
Then you infuse it, and then you put it in your beignet.
Ooh, what about pot? The hash, they're not hash browns. The things they're
Scrapple. You talking about?
No, it's not scrapple. It's like a seafood thing. You put it with seafood.
Pennsylvania style, some scrapple.
No, it's low country boil stuff, man. Joe knows.
Yeah, it's
Scrapple
hush puppies, marijuana hush puppies.
Scrapple's
they're good. Yeah,
that'd be pretty
marijuana
good.
filters are pretty good too. It's what's that, Janice? Well, no, I mean, so the very first time I ever heard about cooking marijuana was from a gentleman I met who came from Amsterdam. This is 2 decades ago, and he said there are several restaurants out there just along the way, all their foods infused with marijuana.
Oh, yeah.
Everything you eat, yeah.
You got to go to the River Street Cafe in Amsterdam, right there on the water, man, and then you can have whatever you want. You get the stew. They put a big marijuana leaf on top of it. They all kinds of stuff.
They do like for your whatever's. If you get a salad, so sometimes there'll be some chopped up marijuana in there, but also whatever the dressing is made out of, it's infused with marijuana as well. He said the first time he went there, he ate like a lunch, and by the time he got through lunch and made it back to the hotel, he was so fucked up he couldn't find his damn feet.
You wander into that red light district after that.
Yeah, let him take all your money and shit. No, stay away from that.
Bad combination.
Stay away from there, man. It's well, people. I don't think a lot of people understand. So eating a lot of marijuana is almost as bad as tripping on acid. It ranks up in the same areas. It's not like smoking weed.
It's different when you eat it than smoke it. Yeah, it's totally
much
different. It's processed in your liver, man. You get higher longer.
Hush puppies are not seafood, but they are one of the best times I had hush puppies were with the Low Country Boil, we would fry up some hush puppies first, and then we take the same thing. We cook the hush puppies and take the oil out and do Low Country Boil, which could be, just about any kind of seafood you can think of.
Well, down here, you most time when you find hush puppies, it's just going to be with like fried shrimp or fried oyster or something along those lines.
Best I had was Arthur Treacher's fish and chips, man. They had hush puppies.
You don't know hush puppies unless you've made them yourself fresh in a boiling vat of oil.
Matter, I like
right in the middle of the day.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they're good when they're made right. They're good. Sometimes they can be, and people prefer to make them out of cornbread, but there are other ways to make them besides that.
The one we did was more of the traditional. It wasn't cornbread, but it was kind of a brownish bread. It had like brown speckles in it. It's hard to describe it, but they were fried up.
It just depends. And then what's that? What is that, Sandy? What are you talking about? No, those are corn fritters. I make them too. They're good. Yeah.
First time I had grits was at one of those Cracker Barrels. And I tell you, it was gross. And then I actually had real grits. I was like, wow, that's good.
What is a grit? Corn.
A friend of mine asked me, he goes, what's a grit, Joe? I said, it's too hard to explain.
It's delicious.
Like,
corn.
I said, all you got to do is throw some salt and pepper and some butter in them, and they're good. And I said, you happen to be eating eggs, mix some yolk in there, you're all happy.
Salt, the pepper shaker, and that's all you need.
It's
corn.
Well, no, we're not. You always hear about grits and shrimp and grits, but that's not really a big deal down here. It's not a big dish down here.
It's more.
You will see it. You will see it from time to time, but
chitlins. Now chitlins is some.
Chitlins. Chitlins is weird. It depends on who makes it.
That's nasty, though. Come on, chopped up chicken innards. No, thank you.
So, well, this is pork innards, but still,
whatever.
So they take them. I watch these old ladies. They take them. They boil them. We were redoing their floors in the house. They boiled them for like 3 days, and then they did some other stuff, and then they fried them. They were almost like a crackling. Oh, what do you just fucking crackling? Real crackling, not that shit you go buy in a bag at the store.
Cracklings, no, cracklings is like the pork skin. Oh, that's
real cracklings are delicious. I mean, oh
god.
Real crackling down here is not that puffy shit y'all get up north. It's a hunk of meat. It's a hunk of meat.
This is a legit thing that bars in the South had was that they could even have. Oh my god! You either have a big pink jar with pig's feet in it, or a big pink jar with chicken feet in it, and then some of them had boiled eggs in it. But you usually had one or the other, pig's feet and
you
eggs.
go to a gas station. I went to a gas station in Arkansas. They had a big thing of pig's knuckles on the counter.
In like a red vinegar, like sitting on the couch. You just open up the jar, put your grimy paws in there, pull one out.
That's what people do.
That was bar food in my dad's time. Nasty. That's just
oh man. My grandpa would stop. We get a brown bag full of them cracklings and be all greasy all over the place, man. They were delicious, man. So what it was, a big hunk of ham, like with a big hunk of fat on it, puffed out. Oh man, they were delicious.
Cracklings is like Rocky Mountain oysters. If you don't know what they are and you're going through the record, when you find out what they are, you're going to hate yourself. They're
just pig fat is all they are.
It's pig skin, ain't pig fat. You boil the skin.
Well, no. There's no boiling involved with this stuff. So it's not actually pig skin. Whatever. So this is the fat cut off the pig skin. That's what it is. Whether it actually is not skin.
Make pig skin, and I'd have to leave the house.
But they do make them with pig skins. But the kind I'm talking about is a little bit different.
It's so horrible. It was just
mine's like that. It's like the belly fat with the meat and the thing in the end.
There's two things. There's cracklings and there's pork rinds, and they're both nasty. And they're both made from the skin. Well, I mean, they also gummy bears and gummy candies are made from the skin of pigs as well.
There's a lot of things made from the skin of pigs.
Southern people and
there's actually paper made from
it. They both eat a lot of disgusting stuff, man. Like disgusting stuff. When I think back, because I stopped eating pork when I was like 17. I was done.
Oh man, the other white meat is great, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Stone of a while, like German diet.
So man, a good pork tenderloin, man, cooked right. It's so tender it melts in your mouth. It's really, really good. We actually started using them for making quesadillas.
Say no to pig.
Yeah, I like quesadillas, but the problem with a quesadilla is I can only eat half a case.
Just fold it in half and eat one, man. Make a half a case.
Hey,
So
I
you
have
have
one
a
of the
case.
quesadillas. No, it's not. I just have a half a case. Thank you.
It's they're well, when I make them, I usually get the 8 or 10 inch round, whatever size it is, put in a big skillet because I like to brown them before I put anything in them.
I'll tell you what's good. It's
Boy, they're
the largest
crunchy.
size burritos you can find at the grocery store. You scramble some eggs. You put eggs, your favorite hot sauce, and then your favorite like taco toppings, refried beans, chopped tomatoes, chopped onions, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Roll it up like a burrito. It's called huevos rancheros. It'll be the best eggs you ever had in your life. You never would think that hot sauce and scrambled eggs would go together.
Oh yeah, they do down here. That's the thing, man.
Really, really do.
Oh no, hot sauce and eggs is a thing down here.
Hot sauce goes with everything.
Yeah, and since Louisiana's king of hot sauce, there's all kind of them. It's no, but I'll make like breakfast burritos. I love making it,
We
man.
did not know that, and I apologize, but yeah, no, I did not know that.
See, you're trying to eat Christy. Shame on you, Jay. Christy, he's pregnant, baby. Don't. He's actually
You're
pregnant.
the one who brought up the cracklings.
He's actually pregnant. I'm just saying. So that he's getting cravings.
You're trying to eat cravings.
My cravings are tacos, man. If I could eat tacos every day of the week, every meal of the day, it wouldn't kill me. I would eat them.
I would do pizza.
I like tacos, but I think I like the ground beef tacos better.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's say ground beef is not one of the, if I could eat ground beef tacos every meal, every day for the rest of my life, I'd be a happy camper. It's got all the vegetables in it. Not all the vegetables. It's got all the food.
You could do a taco pizza. You could do a breakfast pizza. You could do all kinds of. I mean, pizza is so versatile.
True.
So pizza. I'm voting for pizza. If there was an apocalypse, I know I could live off with just spaghetti
Pizza
sauce.
done the right way has all the food groups in it. Tacos done the right way has all the food groups in it. So yeah, I mean, it's you get fruit, dairy, you get your fruits and vegetables, corn. Tacos are fantastic.
I love tacos. It doesn't have to be Tuesday. I used to go to this place called Jack in the Box. I don't know if you got Jack's VR.
Jack in the Box, I've heard of it. Yeah.
They made awesome breakfast sandwich, man. I would go there. It's awesome. But the tacos on Taco Tuesday, like 2 for Tuesday. Oh my god!
Michael,
and they were just, you know what? They were sloppy, but they were great.
All right, now you two, we're getting into some news now.
4 o'clock in the morning, you're hitting Jack's, man. Boom, Taco Tuesday. On top of that, set me up.
All right, where did I do with the news thingy at? It's
I put a ghost chili in my stuff, man. I like ghost chili. Tropical, small.
I can't do super hot, man. That's just bad for you.
Ghost peppers aren't really super hot. It depends what kind
awesome,
you get.
Man. I put them in subs, but I make a sub. I love putting a whole ghost chili in there. Just chop it up. I got Lewis
makes a ghost pepper hot sauce. It's not really a hot sauce. It's more garlic. It just got some heat to it, but not like what you would expect.
The best sauce out there is called Green Mountain Gringo. I'm not making that up. It's an actual brand. It's called Green Mountain Gringo hot sauce. It's very, very good. No preservatives. But once you open it, you better eat it because it only lasts like 3 or 4 days in your fridge before it goes rancid.
They just so much hot sauce down here. It's not even fun.
I make my own hot sauce. I use habaneros.
Habaneros are good. I've had them. My mom used to take poblanos and stuff them. I forget, like with like the ground beef mixture. I don't know how she made it, but they were delicious.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I love stuffed anything, man. Stuffed eggplant. I make a stuffed eggplant.
Yeah. So let's see. We're gonna
great eggplant parmesan.
All right, no more food talk. We went past the food talk.
Scoop it out, and I put in.
So we got a new space plane.
Really good, man.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, we got a new space plane. And it was taking pictures today.
It's not new. They've I guess they decided to.
This ain't the one this ain't the DARPA plane. This is something different.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, this ain't the same thing. Let me see. I'm not on the same computer. I had the picture. Let me see. Let me just copy this out right quick.
Yeah,
maybe by the title. Oh, you don't get to see much of it, but you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Let's see. Oh, wait, what is this that Elon's going to crash the space station?
Is he really? What a dick.
Well, I think the government wants him to do it.
Why?
He's going to go in the Fort Knox.
I think it's the end of its life. I've been hearing for a while that they were going to take it down.
See, Trump's talking about giving everybody $5,000 as a refund.
Elon's, yeah, we'll see if that happens. And I ain't holding my breath.
If he's going to drop the International Space Station into the United States or into the planet's ocean, make it $10,000.
So I'm pretty sure this is the updated version of the DARPA one. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's the X373. So let me see if I can get it up on a screen for us somewhere. Let me get rid of this right quick. I got too much shit open. Let's see. Where'd it go? No, that's Martin Luther King. There it is right there. Okay. Let's go back over here. Okay. It's, let's see. This is it right here. Scroll it up. Maybe we can, I can't let us blow it up. So this is something definitely different. Let me see. I'm going to try to blow it up on here so I can at least see it bigger. This is definitely not the thing, the DARPA thing. I don't know what this is.
It looks like the third level, space shuttle.
It's called the X373 is what it was. So what's weird is, so you look at it the right side, but then look on the left side. That's a door. So you see the one with the planet in it where it shows Earth? Go straight up. You'll see a step and what looks to be a door. It even looks like it's got a fucking light over the top of it. Let me see if I can put the thing right here. Siri, nobody was talking to you, bitch. Shut up.
I won't respond to that.
Good. Did y'all see this? Siri just see people. I'm telling you always being listened to.
Some of those things get sassy, man.
They do. But yeah, I know what these are. These are solar panels.
Yeah, I can see this one solar panel. It's like a TIE fighter wing or something right there.
And then when you go straight up, so you go over to this solar panel, and then you go up.
It doesn't make a door, but are we looking out the side of the what? Is it the cargo bay of this X373 thingy or what?
I don't know what this is, and I mean it's very limited. I'm gonna see if I can't find some more pictures on this, but it's very limited to what they're letting you see here. Which I don't blame them. I mean, it's supposed to be classified top secret. It took a picture of Earth today. That's the reason they were talking about it. I'm sorry, X37B. I'm sorry, I thought it was 37. So, shadowy X37B, 37B. Okay. It was taken on February 20th, cruising along. Let's see, did they get anything else in here? Hey, what's this?
The video. Oh, it's going to be an ad first, of course.
Of course there is, yes. That's why the sound's off, so we don't have to listen to it.
What happened?
Ford.
It's a Ford, yeah. Thank God we didn't have to hear that.
Ford US $3,500. That's how much we charge for commercial.
Although Chevrolet stopped making the Camaro, and they don't make a whole lot of gas engines anymore. So Ford may be my next.
Yeah, but
icing on the cake.
That's all going to change what Trump's doing. Because they're making it. They're not letting them do the electric highway, so they don't have a choice. They're gonna have to go back to gas or go out of business.
Yeah.
So this is this thing, 37B.
X-37B missions have continuously advanced our nation's space capabilities by testing new technologies that reduce risk and inform our future space.
See, that looks like the DARPA one behind
Mission
her.
7 is no exception.
Yeah.
This one right.
We launched for the first time on a Falcon Heavy into a highly elliptical orbit. This mission is supporting the Space Force conducting radiation effect experiments and the testing of space domain awareness technologies. We've completed our time in this highly elliptical orbit and have started executing a series of maneuvers called aerobraking. This allows us to change our orbit around Earth and safely dispose of the service module components in accordance with the recognized standards for space debris mitigation.
Yeah, wow. Aerobraking was demonstrated in the...
In general, when a satellite maneuvers, it's going to use its thrusters to execute one or multiple burns to get from its initial orbit to whatever target orbit it wants to get to. Every time it burns, it's going to use delta V and expend propellant. If that satellite's going from an orbit with an apogee that's really, really high, near geo, to a lower orbital regime, it can spend a few thousand meters per second at delta V. When we aerobrake, we utilize atmospheric drag to effectively step down our apogee one pass at a time until we get to the orbital regime that we want to be in. When we do this, we save enormous amounts of propellant. That's really why aerobraking is important.
I'm extremely proud to be part of this team that is delivering this first-of-a-kind capability.
Shut up.
This accomplishment is yet another example of the X-37B's ability to conduct novel demonstrations that provide critical value to the U.S. Space Force.
Yeah, I remember when DARPA had to give everything to Space Force. That just pissed him right off. There's nothing else on there. I don't know. And it's unmanned, so maybe manned one day, but it's unmanned right now. I don't know, guys and girls. A little weird out there in the world today. See, this was the original picture I seen here. I don't know if you can see it on here with me. Let me see that.
You got to present it.
Yeah, okay. There it is. Present. Yeah. So this was the original picture I ran across when I was reading the article because they had taken a shot. Now, none of this stuff I've ever seen on the DARPA one. None of these cuts, none of this. I looked at it pretty hard, and I'm not sure what we're looking at here. Or maybe this is a refitted one or something. I don't know. It just doesn't look. It sort of looks like it, but then it doesn't look like it. But maybe it's the same number. Maybe it is, and it just looks. I don't know.
Add it to the stage. Let me add it to the stage. Are you on it?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, added. So that's
okay,
it.
Where are we?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we saw that picture before. That's on a different.
Yeah. So yeah. Let me show you now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But now when you look, so you see the
solar panels.
So go up, follow along the ridge, and then come up here.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a window. This is definitely some kind of sensor or light. Whether it's a door or not, I can't tell now. It's kind of raised like one, but I don't know if it is or not. But I do see a step here, a ridge, but that's definitely a window. And I don't know why there's a window and there ain't nobody on the fucking thing. At least as far as we know, there's nobody on the thing. I don't know, guys and girls. We're gonna keep up on it because for some reason I want to think that was the number of the DARPA plane. I guess I'll have to look it up to be sure. But still, let's see. DARPA shuttle. Let's see what it comes up as. Okay. There it is right there. Several pictures of it. Okay. And it says X-37.
Mm-hmm. I figured it would.
But it ain't. Let me show you.
What is DARPA US X-37B spaceplane actually made for? There's a YouTube station for that as well. Wow. DARPA Hammerhead is another name for it.
It's well, the one we were watching said Shadow or something. Okay, hold on. Let's go. I don't know if this is it or not, but we're going to find out. Present. Share screen. Dun, 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 dun. Is this the one? Let me go back and check and hit present. Add to screen. Okay, let's go back over yonder and buy a Honda.
To build a reusable spacecraft that could be used to launch satellites into orbit every 24 hours during 10 days with minimal maintenance. The implications would give the United States the upper hand if an orbital war were to break out. Ever since the Cold War's technological revolution, engineers have tried to develop a sustainable spacecraft that could be used multiple times while saving millions of dollars. American and Russian companies have unsuccessfully embarked on such projects for decades. However, a joint venture in the early 2010s between the American Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency and renowned aircraft company Boeing sought to change that. The XS-1 spacecraft, or Phantom Express, was expected to launch vertically, deliver its ordnance in the atmosphere at Mach 10 speeds, and then make its way back to Earth.
Yeah, that's a different name.
Yeah. Different configuration altogether, too.
With up to 5,000 pounds, and each ride would cost less than $5 million. The plan was ambitious, and the entire world was eager to see how it revolutionized space aeronautics.
Space shuttle. Yes.
Wix gives you the power of AI to build the website you need. With full
the XS-1 program.
Sorry, DARPA, don't belong to you no more, my friend.
Boeing Phantom Works president said, quote, Phantom Express is designed to disrupt and transform the satellite launch process as we know it today, creating a new on-demand space launch capability.
They changed. They
risk.
Came up with that to compete with the Skunk Works.
Let's see if this is a different one. Well, now everything's under Space Command now. Everything. Area 51, Navy, Air Force, everything belongs to them now. They still can run their programs, but they belong to them.
Gives you the freedom to tell your story.
Let's see what this one says. Let me go
with
back
a professional website that reflects who you are and what you have to offer.
Oh, wait. So it's on the screen.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's... Wait a minute. Actually, yes, it is a plane. But other than that, it's shrouded in all kinds of secrecy, mystery, and intrigue. It may well be one of America's most sophisticated and advanced pieces of technology.
Okay, this one's supposed to be the X-37B
This
space
is
plane.
unveiled, and today we're answering the extraordinary question: what does DARPA's secret space plane actually do?
Do you need the big questions answered? Are you constantly curious? Then why not subscribe
Dude,
to
we'll
Unveiled
never
for
watch
more
your
clips
channel
like
again
this
with just
one,
subscribe
and ring the bell
bullshit.
for more thought-provoking content.
The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, is a specialist branch of the U.S. Department of Defense, responsible for developing new and cutting-edge technologies for military use. All of America's armed forces stand to benefit from DARPA and have done so over the years, although in recent decades there's been a growing link between it and the final frontier of space in particular. The X-37B, otherwise known as the OTV Orbital Test Vehicle, or colloquially the Space Plane, is a flagship reusable uncrewed vehicle for the U.S. Space Force. It takes off vertically and lands horizontally, and seemingly has room enough to carry a lot of stuff into space. It actually began life, though, back in 1999, at a time when NASA was in control. Since then, its development and use has changed hands and expanded, so that today it has become a record-setting piece of equipment capable of carrying out variously unique and difficult missions. Built by Boeing and with a design partly inspired by the Space Shuttle program, DARPA took over the running of it in 2004, and since then, it's been a highly classified project. What we do know, though,
Yeah,
is
what's
that the
DARPA doing with
X-37B
it?
has run
Yeah.
at least 6 major missions. Its first flight, OTV-1, came in 2010, when it spent 224 days in orbit between April and December of that year.
And you know what it was doing? It was mapping every fucking satellite up there that don't belong to us.
Yeah.
It might even be. So you've seen them little things, those compression things.
Tonight, I bet you they took his picture.
Yeah, well, they were showing those little compression things. Those can be set near a satellite or even attach themselves to a satellite. They may be little mini bombs or something.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not even sure how that's all going to work out too. It's well, they were saying that's one of the things they were doing was tracking anything in space. It's not a satellite. I mean, it's not
Right.
space junk.
Right.
They want to know everything that's up there. And I know JPL has been tracking everything in space for a long time through their JTrack system, but I mean, there may be stealth stuff up there, stuff that's hidden with the junk. I think that's one of the things that planes up there doing is making sure where everything's at. And
Yeah,
since the other one, the first one we were talking about can launch all kind of stuff up and down really fast and be reused, then that allows us to, not just with Elon, but with them, we can be launching shit all over the place. We can be taking things out left and right. I wonder if that thing can carry a K-bomb. Huh.
There have been some people that speculated that maybe it would be a good idea to, police some of that debris that's floating around up there. Like there's, so many nuts and bolts that are falling off of, spacecraft we sent up there from the 50s onward. We ought to go and clean it up, don't you think?
I know. Well, there's some kind of plane. So when we were listening just now, they were talking about mitigation of space junk. And I know they've been talking about ways to go up there and clean it up and get it out. And I think they're going to let companies start bidding on how to do it. Like that company that went out there and invented how to clean up plastic in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah,
Great,
something like
great.
that.
We call it the great plastic patch, like the great pumpkin patch, but they're out there doing it. So, something like that is something that could make somebody very rich if they can figure out a feasible way to do it.
Sure, Uncle
Sam will help provide them ways to get up into space and do stuff. So, or maybe SpaceX will go on business with them. But they've been talking about it's getting bad. I mean, they've had they have to move the space shuttle. I mean, it's not space shuttle, the space station all the time because shit's always trying to run into it. And then, when we're up there flying around, stuff's trying to run into us. Stuff's running into our satellites, other people's satellites. It's to a point where it needs to be cleaned up, and there's more and more satellites being put up there every day. Yeah, I mean, people are launching, different countries are launching for whatever reason. And then there's a lot of just, now the way it's set up, I think through the UN is any certain things you have to set them up so they burn up in the atmosphere. It's part of the rule of going into space now, which you've got to actually set it up the way it burns up so it doesn't come down and hit anybody or sit around in space and become more debris. Because they were showing a tear in one of the Hubble's side panels, and it was from a wrench from an expedition, from a whole nother expedition. Had nothing to do with the Hubble. It was lost. I think it was on the space. On the space shuttle. It was actually lost on one of the things they were doing, and it floated up there for a while before it finally found that Hubble and ran into it.
Wow.
It's and just tore a hole in. So I didn't do any damage, because it's all that stuff the way it's set up anyway. But it
doesn't have to be noticed. That's a significant thing.
They got lucky. Well, they thought if it would have went in, it kind of grazed it and tore it. If it would have went in, it would have caused all kind of damage because it would have been a hunk of metal landing in electronics.
Well, a very oxygen-rich neighbor or room, basically, would explode upon impact.
Yeah, it's and I mean, a lot of the equipment they use is static equipment, so it wasn't. If it hits something electrical, it won't cause a problem. But not everything they use are because the tools still have to be strong enough to get a job done. And it's funny because when you're doing work in space outside, you have to anchor yourself to use any tool, because if not, it'll just spin you and not the thing you're trying to spin.
Right.
You grab a wrench and put it on a nut and go to turn it. It's going to throw your ass up in the air before it throws a nut. So you got to actually anchor yourself off so you can do it. That's why I noticed in later missions they started giving them, I guess, like air wrenches, electric wrenches.
Yeah,
you could plant yourself still and then hit the button. As long as it was tight.
Yeah, if you didn't hold yourself as you're just in outer space, you would have spun instead of.
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges to be in space. I mean, there's a lot of stuff goes on.
Zero gravity. I mean, I'm sure you're trying. You have to eat before you do your work. So you probably have breakfast at like 6 or 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning. How do you hold your breakfast down when you go out into like outer space and try to do work?
Yeah, I know it's not even the radiation and stuff. Even that's bad enough, but
yeah. You have food. Does it want to come back up the hard way? I mean,
I wonder if they have to have X amount of time upside down.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
How do you have regular bowel movements? I mean, they have regular diet, I think, as far as I know.
Yeah, they do, and they've added more non-pasty foods into their diets now, but still.
Like lasagna. I heard they got lasagna.
Yeah, they got a couple things now. I mean, they had hot dogs and stuff. I'm thinking you just sleep upside down and everything migrates like it normally does.
Space Museum in DC, we used to get they call it the astronaut's treat. It was freeze dried ice cream, and it was Neapolitan, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry freeze dried ice cream.
You said Tang. Remember Tang?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love
they still get Tang. You can still get Tang.
Tang. Sunny D is just already mixed Tang if you buy Sunny D.
Yeah, it pretty much is. It is.
It's exactly what it is.
Well, I mean, you get Tang. I mean, I haven't really looked lately, but I mean, you used to be able to get in just regular orange juice containers like anything else.
Mm-hmm.
No, it got really popular, Janine, because it was the food of astronauts.
It was the astronauts for what they drank.
That's right. That's what they drank.
Yeah, but if you got the powder, you can control it. You can control the taste. Come on.
Yeah, if you get the powder, you can control the
Power
taste.
is in the powder.
It's no, the Apollo, like the Apollo astronauts had mostly pasty stuff. They had some stuff they can chew on, because I know when they met with when they had the
They had hot
Russian,
dogs on Apollo 13.
yeah, when they met with the Chinese, not the Chinese, with the Russians in space. What was it? Yeah, it was the Russians in space. They swapped food. Yeah.
People may not know this, but the space shuttle, or the command module they went up to the moon with, had a microwave in it.
Well, I know they had the little bun warmer. I mean, the little hot dog warmer thing that they heat the hot dog up.
There's a microwave.
Yeah. Well, no, I was talking about the Russians, because hey, you got to heat stuff up. You know, want something warm. I mean, you can't eat cold food all the time. It wears on your nerves.
Man.
Microwave was already a big thing of the time. I mean, the Yamano radar range, it was available from 1957 forward. So,
what did Captain Kirk eat going through the universe? Jay,
good food.
Yeah, I was going to say,
what was his favorite thing to
green
eat?
Orion and tiger women. That's what he
think.
Yeah, he had he probably had his own private chef, just like most captains do.
No, he had that. You hit the button and there's the food, man. It was a replicator, right, or something.
No,
Food
back
replicator,
then, no, not for Kirk.
Yes,
Kirk wasn't food replicators. Kirk's mostly were stuff that was put in the system that was put out by a cook. It was like, you know, when you used to go to those places and you put 50 cents in, you open a drawer and take the food out. It was like that.
But he would have that.
They weren't all yeah, I was the same way when I heard that the first time. I was like, wait, what?
And the knee boots coming in there with a silver platter with a cover. Hey, Captain. He's like, that's right. That's right. Give me my tacos. And leave me.
The replicators are
come
great
back
things.
in 10 minutes.
Give us another 100 years, we'll have replicators.
According to Ben Rich and Bill Lear, or John Lear, that we already have that stuff.
Maybe. See, I would believe stuff like that, but that's stuff that they would put out. That's stuff that could make you just as much money as selling food could. So I don't. It's not something you would hold back on.
I think it was Bill Lear who said that if you've seen it in a Star Wars or Star Trek movie, we can already do it.
Some of it, yeah. Some of it, obviously, we can. I mean, we're not browsing star systems yet at high warp speeds. We definitely don't own those kind of technologies.
That's the implications, though, that we have the abilities to do these things now.
It would be nice, but there's some things. See, for me, when I look at it a little bit different than people do. So I wouldn't doubt that we could maybe go faster than the speed of light, but we don't know. We don't understand inertial dampeners to start off with. We don't even know what they really are. When you listen to science talk, there's an argument about what they actually do, which is you're going to have that. But even more importantly than that, you're going to have a system that can see millions of light years ahead of you so that you can travel at faster than light speeds, or you're going to fucking die. Because you're going to run into a star or an asteroid or something.
The rock is going to hit you.
Yeah, I mean, so, those technologies is just not something we possess. We can't even really tell you.
What about Einstein's theory that the faster you go, the slower things are, and then there's a point where everything gets really elongated.
That's for light speed.
Because
that's for
get past the speed of light that you hit.
Yeah, so when what they're talking about is the approach to light speed. The closer you get to it, but see, warp speed is different. Warp speed is just a jump. You're not actually trying to run up to light speed. You're just jumping.
What about their suggestion of future echoes of time, that you're actually going so fast, you're cruising through time. Now you're changing the whole time thing.
Yeah, but you're not really. You're still in the same time frame, same timeline. You're still now. If you want to argue about something, are you a real person? Are you the same person? If you transport yourself somewhere and you're molecularly broke down and put back together, are you the same person? No, you.
I've done warp speed through the Midtown Tunnel in New York City, man. At 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had my Camaro, right through there, eating some Chinese food while I was doing it. Warp speed, I said.
No warping speed.
Then I had to stop and pay the toll.
But yeah, forming a warp is not the same thing as approaching light speed. Or at least in theory, it's not the same thing as approaching light speed.
Whenever you got to pay a toll right there at the end.
if you use like a conventional engine, plasma drive or something, a wind, whatever,
Einstein's theory is that you wouldn't be able
sail.
to burn fuel. You wouldn't even be able to burn fuel past light speed because everything was stuck.
Yeah, that's why they got warp speed, which is different than light speed. You'll just be going faster than light speed.
But warp speed is supposed to be faster than light speed. Yeah.
It is, but it's not. It doesn't approach light speed. It jumps over light speed. So there's none of that change in time while you're going on. It just pops up and it's there. It's that running up to light speed that gets you in trouble.
3D world, you would have to venture into quantum physics, into some kind of subatomic particles, and have some kind of system that would carry a vessel through like a bubble of subatomic particles to bring them through. And then at that point, you're not traveling in our time. You're traveling in quantum time, in quantum physics time.
No, you're traveling subspace, the layers in between space. So you're not actually ever breaking any time things. You're just traveling between layers of space. So you wouldn't really
have to go fast. You would just have to harness that ability and then beat it.
Well, it all depends on what you want to do. I mean, warp drives are designed to haul ass. Gate technologies are designed to pop you from one spot to the next. It's folding space technology.
Quantum technology is
which would be folding space technology.
Point A to point B, doesn't matter how far. So if you can harness
that space folding is what that is. You're folding space.
But if you can harness that, then you don't need the warp drive. You can just go.
No, you don't.
A lot of people with these aliens, they say they see a rift open up in the sky, and then all of a sudden,
yes, and that's not necessarily folding space. That might be a gate technology, which is a whole different thing. So you've got gate technologies. It's one thing. You got time and space folding, which is another thing, and then you got warp drive, which is another thing. They're all different. They all get you to
humans can't even handle congestion pricing. You know what I mean? So how are we going to even like compare ourselves to any a higher?
So and all three of the things we just talked about, they all have the same problem. We don't know what's on the other side. So we can't just. Well, we can't. We just can't fucking pop there if we don't know what's there. I mean, we can.
Pop there. I'd pop there and pop back. I did the same thing with the trains when I was a kid.
Maybe, but you might pop into a sun and be dead.
I'd pop back in again and go back to where
you might pop into a planet and kill 1 billion people. That's the problem. You just don't know. Even though space is vast and there's not a lot of stuff in it, that's bullshit. There's a lot of stuff in it.
What's supposed to happen?
No, it's not. That's stupidity. Is what that's called. That's called stupidity.
I have no control over that.
In order to make this right, you'll either have to go there, send a probe there, or know the area somehow or another by some means.
If you're going to make an omelet.
So in order to do the universe right, you're going to have to go around the universe at sub speeds until you can map it out far enough that you can do warp speed.
In Dune, they had creatures that could see into the future, so they knew they wouldn't hit this planet.
People would say, "Oh man, watch out for those humans! They popped in and it messed everything up, and they popped out." You know what I mean? Watch out for humans! Don't go near the Earth. The Earth has humans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all that shit's going to change
They'll leave us alone. Don't mess with the humans.
So they've changed in the new Dune. They've changed the way they fly.
Yeah, right.
They're still using space folding, but they're changing the way it actually works. I don't know why they're doing that. I thought that was pretty straightforward.
Wormhole technology.
The space laundromat. So that in Dune, the spice is the worm.
You know, Jeffrey, I got that link somewhere. I seen it today. The top, I think it was the top 20. No, it wasn't. It was like the top 7 or 10 1950 sci-fi movies that are still worth watching today. Yeah, I've seen it. I don't know where it's at, but I'll find it somewhere around.
The Creature from the Black.
I know Planet 9 was there. I know
the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
What's his name? Neo was there. What's the So I know Forbidden Planet was there too. So Forbidden Planet was there. There was 3 or 4 of them I recognized, and 2 or 3 of them I don't think I did recognize. But yeah, I mean, if it's the plots are good, the stories are good. The special effects are crap, but really and truly, the stories are good. Though I mean, that's the difference. In some of the sci-fi back in the 50s, they actually had a plot and story. Today, it's like whatever. It's I mean, half the shit you get to watch in sci-fi today just doesn't have a plot. What's Well, no, Jimmy, I like near now sci-fi. Yes. Yeah, near now. So I like stuff that's, say 50 to 200 or 300 years ahead of us right here. Yes. Well, that keeps it in content, like in politics and technologies and things like that. Well, any new technology can be invented at any given time. We know that. Just look around on our planet. You ever heard of this thing called AI? What I'm saying, any new technology can be born on this planet at any given time. When it's time for us to travel fast in the speed of light, we will, and it'll happen with more than one person, like everything does here. On Earth, it seems like 3 or 4 or 5 people seem to get the same idea all around the same time. Is it evolution? Is it someone giving it to us? I don't really know, but it seems to work that way. So I would think, somebody's going to invent faster than light travel. It might be Jay's baby.
Yeah. You never know.
But y'all should make sure you make donations to Jay's baby, Faster Than Light Project. Yes.
FDL Project.
That's right. I don't know. I mean, folding time and space was one whole thing. I mean, so you're basically, if you take a piece of paper and you make a dot over here in the corner, you fold it up until it meets the dot up here, and then you pass straight through. Yes. So that's basically what folding space is. You keep folding it until the 2 locations are side by side, and then you're there. Yeah. Gate technology is different in the fact that you have a gate on this end, a gate on that end, you pass through a wormhole, and boom, you're there.
A virtual tunnel, if you will. What do they call it? Is it an Einstein-Rosen bridge?
No, I thought it was, but I think
Einstein-Rosen bridge is what.
No, but I think they got another name for it.
Artificial, yeah, but that's what they called it in Stargate.
That's what they call it in Stargate, but in Stargate, that's what they call the thing in Stargate was the thing that breached the 2 dimensions, but they didn't call the wormhole that. They called it something else.
Called it an artificial Einstein-Rosen bridge.
That's not what Commander, what's her name, called it, the hot blonde with the big boobs. Commander Carter. That's not what she called it.
Samantha Carter, yeah.
Yeah, she called it something else, but it's I mean, what is that, Jack? Actually, they use it. See, Jay's right in fact, because in what is the name of that stupid comedian's TV television was all about Science Eureka. In Eureka, they did a Einstein-Rosendale bridge to the past to go back and forth from like when Eureka was made to its future. So that's what they called it there. So technically that's what it is. But then a lot of people are just going to call it a wormhole, and that's what they're going to call it. You can call it whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's a stable vortex between us and somewhere else. It allows you to travel between them 2 points. Warp speed is not the same. Warp speed is like a warp bubble being shoved through subspace between 2 layers of space. It's kind of like being squished along, for a better way to explain it.
Essentially, it's like basically you have like an egg, and in the front of the egg, you're compressing space, and then behind the egg, you're expanding space, and it pushes that egg along.
It pushes along, yeah. It's easy. Well, no, we've actually talked about that kind of technology, Herbie. So you're talking about wave. That's a whole different thing where they launch a wave from Earth, and it catches the ship. And it pushes the ship along.
Like they did it on Star Trek Next Generation, and everybody died.
Yes, it's. I don't know. No, it's there's lots of things we're going to learn. So right now, the things we can mess with that we're messing with are plasma drives and other type drives, nuclear drives, and then there's one company that's going to deploy us. We've already deployed one solar sail, not on any equipment, but they just deployed it to see if it would work, and it did. It worked perfectly. And then
laser drive now. Pretty amazing stuff.
And so a solar sail put in the middle of our solar system could get close to. It would take it about 3 years, but it would get about 75% of light speed. So the bitch part for that is whoever was on a board. By the time it reached 75%, man, 300 years have passed here. So all of a sudden they're going to be sitting in their front
what would
looking
that be?
around.
An FTL drive, a near faster than light drive.
Yeah, near faster than light drive. Because eventually they're going to be sitting there cruising along, and they're going to start seeing ships zipping by them. Zoop, zoop, zoop. What the hell's that? That's because someone invented faster than light travel, and you're still putting along. That's the risk to any technologies we travel.
It would be like having a canoe go up against a power boat.
But I mean, it's not that. I mean, it's any technology that this planet's designing right now, like say we want to go to Proxima and we want to do it it's going to take us 8 years or 10 years. Instead of doing the stepping stone theory where we have bases all along the way, we just put everybody to sleep and shoot their asses straight there. Okay, that's 8 years. But in that 8 years, somebody might have been at fast night. But when you start thinking about the cosmic scheme of the galaxy and the hundreds of ships we would have out there with sleepers in them, sooner or later, we're going to invent something that's just going to zip by. So when they get to the colony they're going to, there'll already be a colony there because it's faster than light.
Wait, how did you get here?
Hey, what's up, guys? We were wondering when the hell you were going to get here, and they'll be like, "What the?" But that's going to be how it's going to work. I would hope they would just stop along the way and pick their asses up, but they might be in some big Earth kind of ship,
Oh, you might be able to. You might have to take a different trajectory and not go, near another launch.
But I would think some of these ships that we're talking about, these colony ships, would probably be large ships. Probably too big to take in tow or anything.
Some of the UFO colony ships that have the whole center spine of the ship is like a living plant.
What do you mean, Jay? No, we're not going to take a break because we only got like 30 minutes left. So, we don't all. Well, we usually take breaks on the show, but we've been talking about a lot of different things. You know what? I'm gonna go look since you said it, but now it's gonna bug me because you said a damn stupid UFO. I mean, movie thing. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. So I was talking with Linda today. Something interesting about Trump's cabinet. They're all mid-50s to early 60s. They're all ex-Jenners.
Yeah,
they're all
our age. They're all our age.
You fucking feral people. Oh my God. We're in deep shit, man. Trump doing good in the polls.
Good fun for you.
Oh, I love this. Gen Z won't apply for jobs if you don't tell them what they're going to make ahead of time.
Oh, I heard it. What? So what? I mean, come on.
You
go to the interview and they say, "Hey, I'd like to offer you the job. Here's how much we want to pay you." You say yes or no.
Oh, just something for a future show, Jay. They found a 500,000-year-old signs of an extinct human species in Poland.
In Poland?
In Poland, and it's not us. It's different. They keep finding new human races that aren't actually
of our
So. Which probably is why this is a healthy population day because there was so many interbreeding going on, and of course, we're doing away with the penny people. I don't know what y'all going to do without the penny.
But how many of them are like failed experiments from the Anunnaki, or not failed experiments, but abandoned experiments from the Anunnaki?
Could be, and I would think just like they did with Neanderthals, I think they just were either overbred or inbred into the local populations. So actually, I don't think who's the number one burger chain? It's not Five Guys or McDonald's. It ain't out. If you try to tell me it's In-N-Out, I'm going to laugh at you. And I don't care about it. It's not what I was looking for. I guess I took it off the list today. Oh,
when I'm on the road, I like Wendy's, man. Believe it or not, Wendy's is pretty consistent.
Well, I can eat a decent Wendy's, and you know what my favorite food is though when I'm on long trips. I like KFC's chicken legs because I can eat them while I'm driving.
I've had so many bad KFC experiences, man. I can't do it anymore.
Burgers in America, according to
dried out, tasteless chicken.
It's you gotta watch eating it.
Popeye's chicken's pretty good.
All right, let's do it. You want to do it? Do we got time?
Yeah, we got time. Yeah, we got 30 minutes.
Oh, well, in that case, let's look at the 21 best burgers in America. I just did this search, top 10 burgers in the United States, and we get did it zoom up there? There it is. Now let's go back to that page.
Five Guys is all right, but it's too expensive.
According to chefs, which chefs? Who knows?
It is sharp now.
So let's go down and start it out. In-N-Out Burger, is that number one?
That's what I'm saying. Ain't no way. I've eaten In-N-Out. It's not number one.
They're not that good. Yeah. Shake Shack. Wow, look at
that.
They
suck.
Do they?
Yes, they do. Greasy ass, fucking ass hamburgers.
That's just two burgers on top.
That looks like it comes out the bat in the wrong way.
They're just greasy. Them and the burgers on the fries are just greasy.
Five Guys. My best friend next week. I won't be on the show. I don't think. I'll try to be, but I'm driving my best friend of like 30 years to Phoenix. And we were working at this place together, and they kept raving about this place. You got to try Five Guys. You got to try it. And I said, you sure they cook it the right way? Like, yeah, it's a one flip, no mash. It's a great cheeseburger. I go, I make my order. I see the guy takes my patties, throws them on the grill, takes an iron weight, and goes, what? And it mushes all the juice out. And in my head, I'm going, no.
Okay, now see where I get Five Guys, they don't do that. But I'm gonna tell you a secret about Five Guys.
It's
so
horrible.
The very first time I ever stopped with Linda, we got Five Guys. They sucked. I mean, they sucked. So a couple months later, we were somewhere and it was only joint around. So we'll get them. They sucked again. So we'll never eat there again. Well, we were in Daphne, Alabama, and I wanted a hamburger and I didn't want a McDonald's. And I was like, fuck. And I seen the file. I said, well, all right, we'll give them fucking best burger I ever ate. Best burger I ever ate. Best fries, best burger. It was cooked well. Everything was good.
I gotta say, Five Guys.
I like Five Guys. They're too expensive.
Five Guys has great fries. It's a different potato. They sponsor a different potato every month or so, or what have you. And those are great. But
what I've learned, and we've actually charted them now. So there are 3 Five Guys we'll never eat at, and there's 3 Five Guys we will eat at. And there's a big difference in the I'm telling you, there's a big difference.
Yeah. Here's Silver Lake Bistro. Never heard of them.
You know, I was like, wow.
Laha's Red Castle. Oh, I wonder if that's like, yeah, they're sliders.
Like White Castle.
Like White Castle, Little Tavern, yeah. Crystal. Bloodhorn or Bloodhorn. Never heard of it. Look at that monstrosity.
I know, huh?
Good Lord. How do you get your face around
salad
that?
on there.
Le Tub. That doesn't look all that appetizing.
Yeah.
That looks undercooked, but I'd eat it.
You gotta have the beer.
Yeah, that's why. And it's in a Pilsner glass. Love it. NFA, never heard of it. Oh, it's got pickles, automatically decline. I hate pickles.
Oh, always tell me to pickles off, man.
Main Street Grill. That could be anywhere. That looks pretty good. It's got deep fried onion rings on it.
I've never heard of any of these places.
Yeah, and me either. Heavy's Bar Burger.
Now, if we're gonna do burgers like at local stuff,
Here's Williamsburg, Virginia. Look at that thing.
That's not national.
So the bottom line. So you get the bottom line, the Harbor, or the Swamp Room after midnight. Best burger you'll ever eat. The damn thing is 2 inches thick.
What?
It's yay big around. It costs you $12, but
look at this thing. It's got breakfast on it too.
Yeah. A lot of people start putting eggs on burgers lately. I don't know what that's
about.
Look at that undercooked monstrosity. Good Lord, it's going to give you worms. Why don't you just go to the refrigerator and get the.
That's probably a beet burger, man. That's probably what that is.
If Sean was here, he'd
cook it. La
It's a
Lucha.
beet burger, man. It's made out of beets.
It looks like a triple burger. La Lucha. Sylvester, where are these places? I don't know. Brazil.
Never
I
heard
don't
of
know
them.
what that is.
Yeah, this is just places.
7th Street Burger. Raoul.
Somebody's traveling around eating
That
places.
looks like a spinach burger. What the hell is that?
If you ever want a real burger and from a nice place, come down. I'll show you. There's several big hamburger places.
There
down
you
here.
go. There's the top 21.
You know, down here, all the bars are required to serve food.
Every
all the bars down here serve
Every
food.
town's got a great burger joint. A place like mom and pop place you can go to and get a smoke.
Oh, we still have Frost Top down here.
I live in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Right up the street here, 2-3 blocks up the street, Potomac Street, is the Wayne's Burger. They do cheeseburgers and they have Mediterranean. They do gyro, they do falafel, they do hummus and like pita bread. Really good place, and it's local. It's mom and pop, and they have like
on Long Island, dude, in Massapequa, there's American Burger. Trump even stopped there. You know, he they had to get some. Those burgers and those fries. People will be online outside because it's not a sit down. Like you go up to the window and you get your food and leave. But that's good stuff too, man. But we used to go to diners. The diners had awesome onion rings, awesome fries. The burgers were amazing. Always top notch. So I grew up on great burgers.
We have a great French fry place down in Ocean City, Maryland called Boardwalk Fries. I don't know if any of you guys have heard it or tried it, but they burn the fries intentionally, but they're really good.
Five Guys does that a little bit. They burn. I like them though,
they're
man.
Five Guy style, like almost like round.
Oh, for fast food, Five Eyes got the best fries hands down.
Oh, that's what I said earlier. Yeah,
but they cook them. But they cook them in peanut oil, so that's a cheap.
They cook them in peanut oil, number one, and number two, they have a different potato every month. Every month they sponsor a different type of potato throughout the whole month.
Really?
Yes. Anytime you go there, if you go there every month for a year, 12 months, you'll see different bags. It's either gonna be an Idaho or a russet or a golden. Every month it's a different type of potato.
What's that, Kirby? Oh no, you know what? I think I did find it. Hold on, let me make sure, and I'll go back and look.
And you
I
can
know
buy the tomatoes from them. Yeah, not tomatoes. You can buy the potatoes. You can buy a bag of potatoes from them.
Yeah.
You like those fries that month.
I make my own. I lost my.
That's what I said. You can buy their potatoes. That if you like that potato that month, you can buy a bag of them and make your own fries at home.
You know what? I like red potatoes. I chop them up, put them in the pan, a little bit of butter, and throw an onion in there, some garlic in there, and then just fry it all up together, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I'd rather put them in a broiler, but still, that's good. They no, look, Chris. So you've got what's the one when he comes to Earth? Oh shit,
E.T.
No, not E.T. This is these are movies from the 50s and all. So he comes to Earth to save the planet. He lands in the middle of the park and the military surrounds. You got the big robot that comes out.
Oh, Gort. The day the Earth stood still.
That's one of them. Forbidden Planet's another one of them. The one with with the things, the spaceships flying around, blowing up the planet.
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Well, that one's good too, but not that one. The one, War of the Worlds. That's another. So all of these movies are worth watching even today. Like I said, the special effects ain't the greatest, but they're fun to watch, and it's a good storyline.
Listen to the special effects of War of the Worlds. You'll hear photon torpedoes from Star Trek and other, devices from the Star Trek universe.
They were using that stuff first, and you'd be surprised what some of that thing is. One of them a little coil thing that they pull back. Some of this shit is so stupid they make noises with.
Yeah.
Well, when they fight, they punch in. They used in the old days. They used to punch meat. They would go find and go. Yeah, they'd go rent a place and punch the meat. But now they got a different way to do it. Well, I've heard lightning made out of just a little piece of aluminum.
It was a piece of metal. And you just shake it. Yeah. Do you know how they do a breaking bone? Like you break your leg.
I don't know.
Eating a whole stalk of celery, like when you buy celery and it's like all combined in one, and you twist it.
There you go. So there's a lot of sound effects out there, and you got to be able to make them. It's like how in the old days how they used to come up with.
I know all kinds of. I have a degree in making films and television. So I have all kinds of ways and tricks to do TV, like commercials, for example. What do they use for ice cream? TV commercials, they had really, really, really hot lights. What did they use for ice cream? They did not use ice cream. There's your hint. What did they use?
Non ice cream.
Did not use ice cream. What did they use? You have to
use dog poop, man.
Dog food, no.
Crisco.
No,
not Crisco. Mashed potatoes.
I have seen them done with that, and then I've seen them nowadays. I've seen them made with just plastic.
They're Japanese companies that do they make fake food for restaurant displays. Yes.
And then I didn't know this.
It would melt under those lights, also, Michael.
Yeah. Some of the fast food burgers are actually clay.
Yeah.
So I was like, what?
Okay, another thing on a commercial, like a TV commercial, they're trying to sell you a steak. The steak isn't cooked. They take those things, it's like an iron that you stick inside your charcoal briquettes to get them warm. They take one of those, they turn it on, and they just score the steak so it looks like it's been grilled, but it hasn't been. It's just a raw steak. The raw steak looks cooked on camera, and really cooked steak looks like.
Nowadays, that's how I would eat them.
Yeah, some people do. It's like 1 second on each side. Boom, it's done.
No, these days I eat them medium, sometimes medium rare, but mostly medium. Yeah.
If I'm doing prime rib, I can go as low as rare, but I prefer.
Oh yeah, prime rib's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I won't.
I'll go medium. Is the highest I'll go.
So on a good ribeye, depending on the size of it, I'll go medium to medium rare. On prime rib, it's always medium rare or rare.
Yeah, prime rib I prefer medium
But
rare. Yeah.
but a lot of times I want medium because if it's a big thick steak, I want it medium because people don't realize when you cook a steak, if you let it rest, it's still cooking while it rests. So you always have to be careful.
Yeah.
You know, you people say, "Oh, well, you cook it a medium rare and you take it off." Well, if you do that, it's going to be
Medium rare
medium.
steak will become medium as you eat it.
Yes, it's so you know it's all about how long you cook it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I liked it. So a lot of times I'll brown the steak and then I'll throw it under the broiler for like 4 minutes on each side. And well, I like the broiler because it crisps the fat and all that really nicely. Yes, it's everybody has their way of cooking. Sometimes I'll throw it on the grill outside. It just depends what kind of mood I'm in. And I rarely cook a big steak in a frying pan
They have
anymore.
grills now that they have a particular panel in the grill. It's called the sear panel. You put a raw steak on it. You push the button and it goes, and it instantly throws like 300 degrees on that pan on that side of the steak for like however long you hold that button. Then you flip it and push that button again and sear the other side. Then you throw it to the other side of the grill and cook it for 5 or 6 minutes per side.
So what I do, people, is on my right side of my grill, I turn the flame up all the way, get it good and hot because I like the taste of the flame on the thing. I'll throw it over there. The other side set on medium, so I'll throw it over there and go. You'll see it go. You'll hear it go whoosh, flip it, whoosh, and then throw it on the other side. Turn the other side off. And it works perfectly every time. You get a perfectly grilled steak. Plus, you can hit it and turn it so you get the cross grid pattern instead of just a line pattern on it, which always looks better on a steak. And then you flip it, do the same thing, and then toss it on the other side. And it'll cook. Yeah, because like I said, when I'm cooking mine medium to medium rare, so I'm not really going to be on the grill that long. Well, no, if you're going to do potatoes and stuff like that, you got to put it ahead of time. And I love that top rack because I put garlic bread up there, man. That look.
Oh yeah.
I use a blowtorch, man, for my steaks. Put an iron skillet, got heat on one side, my little culinary blowtorch on the other.
I like the guy on Ice Road Truckers. He takes, I think it's a spiral cut ham. And he spices it up and wraps it up in a tin foil, and then he sticks it in the engine of his truck, and he drives 180 miles in negative 40 degree weather, and then he gets to the other side and he opens it up and he shares his cooked ham that he cooked in his truck engine compartment with his friends on the other end of the drive. That's cool.
Very fancy.
It's very fancy, yeah.
It sounds like someone's going to kill your ass after all that contaminant in that shit.
Whether it's real or not, I mean, it was just a cool thing that they did on the show, and they only did it once, but I thought it was neat.
I am Gort.
Yeah.
Coming for you.
I knew people who used to take cheese.
What are the 3 things that Gort said, or how do you deactivate Gort?
You shoot him in the nuts. I mean, I'm sorry, did I say that?
No.
Oh, one of the ones from the 50s was Godzilla.
Love
Godzilla. Godzilla's 1949 in Japan, 1950 in America.
This is Godzilla 1954 is the one they're talking about.
Yeah.
Godzilla.
Well,
and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was in there
Nick,
too.
though.
There he is with his beautiful face. That day there. So that was 1951, and Godzilla and 20,000 Leagues were both.
I saw that remake of War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, man.
Oh, there's been so many remakes of War of the Worlds. That one sucked. Yeah, that one sucked too.
You guys see it?
See, War of the Worlds was done in 1953. Yeah, Tom Cruise sucked.
It was horrible.
There's been a couple of them that actually sucked. I don't know.
I find the guy to be annoying, actually.
I've been boycotting Tom Cruise movies since he butchered the my dad and I's favorite television show that we watched together kind of religiously in the 70s was Mission Impossible. And my dad hates the movie theaters because he's got a horrible bad back, and sitting in those crappy seats for more than an hour just ruins his day the rest of the day. So he actually took me to go see the Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise. And we walked out of there, and he's like, "I hate it." I'm like, "Yeah, me too." And I was like, "What the F was that?" I mean, he made it into all the good guys into bad guys. We were pissed.
Yeah, I didn't care for him. I like the old series, Mission Impossible, man. Awesome, but because it was great. I mean, it had all these different angles to it. But Tom Cruise just. I mean, I'm not hating on the guy. I think he's pretty interesting, but I know he likes to fly his own planes and he does most of his own stunts. things like that. It's for real. I mean, and he gets crazy with it, you know. So I mean, hey, more power to him. But
well, another cool thing I could say about Mission Impossible, the original TV show, another show that I watched a lot. This one with my mom was Law and Order, and they had the original DA was the character's name was Stephen Schiff, and I forget the actor who played his name, but the whole time I'm watching Law and Order, I'm like the DA is like this old guy. I'm like, I know this guy from somewhere. I know this guy from somewhere. I know him. I know him. I know him. And then I looked him up on IMDb. For the first season, he was the Peter Graves dude on Mission Impossible.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's this.
Oh my god. Stripper music.
Get the $5 out. Get the $5 out. Get the $20 out. And you know, whoever wrote this was high on acid, right?
Who did right? Hey Google, who wrote Mission Impossible theme song? Hey Google.
The Whale String Quartet is doing this.
Mission Impossible was composed by Lalo Schifrin.
Lalo Schifrin.
Tripping on acid, apparently.
Well, well,
what's that, ladies and gentlemen? No, we just played it because, you know, Jay had said something about it, and I remember the theme song.
It was a great show. It really was.
The old one was, yeah, the new one sucked.
Yeah. Oh my God. They take off the mask at the end, and every time they got the bad guy. Every time.
It's the A-Team. No, the A-Team is not the same as the Mission Impossible.
Same
I
formula.
pity the fool. I pity the fool.
People. But the A-Team, good segue. The A-Team taught me one thing. They taught me sharpshooting. They taught me that you can take an M4 machine gun and point it into a crowd of people and wave it like a maniac on full auto and miss everybody on purpose. That's a sharpshooter right there, folks.
Yeah, that's a good one. You gotta wonder how they do that. Well, no, there was a lot of them old ones. No, that wasn't a real thing. I mean, it was a real TV show, but it wasn't supposed to be a real spy show. It was Get Smart. No, he was supposed to be a dumbass. He's like the Pink Panther guy.
Yeah, he's like the Pink Panther. He's America's version of the Pink Panther. He's an inept goofball. And oddly enough, Inspector Gadget, the cartoon inept idiot, was voiced by the guy who played Get Smart.
It's well, no, we're getting ready to go, but there's a lot of weird movies out there. There's a lot of weird sci-fi out there, but there's some good stuff that came out.
There was so much great television in decades past. I mean, a lot of really great television.
I don't know, Jeffrey, but it's there's a lot of good TV today. It's not. It's not fair.
There's some good stuff out there, but not as much.
I mean, it's not fair. So when you go back 100 years or 200 years, nobody had ever thought of any of this shit.
Yeah.
So there was, there's lots of times for new stuff and crazy stuff and all kind of good stuff. But then, now we're where we are today, and thanks to COVID, with everything, so much shit was written that it's just like we're always repeating stuff or remaking stuff.
I was going to say, some people might say we've got too much of it. There's so many Spider-Man things. There's Spider-Gwen, Spider-Stacy, Spider-Miles Morales. It's the Spider-Pig. They have a pig. That's Spider-Man. The Spider.
Well, look at Loki's got an alligator. It's because it gets stupid, people.
Yeah, it's gone to the point.
So instead of trying to appease the majority, they're trying to appease everybody, which doesn't work because most of what they're doing is crap.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, Disney owns a lot now. Oh yeah,
Disney owns Star Wars, Marvel Universe. Let's see what else they own. They own the Thundercats now. I do believe.
And
a whole bunch of stuff.
For some reason, X-Men keeps going back and forth. So I don't know what that's about.
They own X-Men is under the purview of Marvel Universe now.
Yeah, so it belonged
Marvel
to
Entertainment.
Fox. Yeah, no, X-Men belonged to Fox. That's how they
Used
ended
to
up
belong to
with
Fox. Yes,
Yeah.
it did. Spider-Man still belongs to Sony Pictures, however.
What about Skeletor?
Skeletor?
He-Man.
I don't know.
Or Sony.
I don't know who
He-Man.
owns all of. So you've got all those cartoons from back in the day. There was tons of them with like the Ghost Guy, and there was I can't even think of all their names right now, but it was 2 different companies that put them out. And
Hanna-Barbera is one of them.
Yeah, Hanna-Barbera was one of them, and I can't remember the other one. But there was 2 of them that put them out, and I don't know who owns any of that anymore.
We grew up with the best cartoons, man. These kids, they don't know anything.
Oh, speaking of that, I'm glad you said that. Oh shit, Mike, I'm glad you said that. Go, keep talking. I need to go find somebody.
So before my when my ex had her kids, I raised the kids. I remember like they were 4 and 6, and then they were watching all this anime and whatever and that kind of crap. I bought Tom and Jerry, the old series on DVD, and then I just bought it because I was buying stuff. Whenever I see things on sale, I'd buy it. That's me, and just not even watch it, just buy it and put it in the collection. So then one day I hear both of them laughing their asses off, like, "Oh my god!" And I shout downstairs, like to the media room, like, "What are you guys doing down there? What are you watching?" They're like, "Oh, it's like this thing called Tom and Jerry." And like, really, they were just like going on, man. And that's the old, funny, cool stuff. You know what I mean?
That's cool. I remember in the 80s, they were still playing the Merry Melodies and other, Bugs Bunny style cartoons.
Yeah.
But they started editing out all the violence, like when the coyote would fall off the cliff, they would stop showing him hitting the ground at the bottom.
But that was the best music. There were orchestras, man, making that music. There was so, amazing. It was amazing.
Every cartoon had a joke for the mom or dad who was in the room watching the kid, and there was, the slapstick comedy for the kids.
The artwork, dude.
Hitting the wall.
Those cells. Remember they were selling those cells for a long time? Like art. Yeah, just putting those cells together, just so intricate and amazing. But wow. Now you have all this other anime stuff.
Oh man. So I had
hentai, I think they call it.
So it's pissing me off I can't find it. So I had a thing with Bugs Bunny, right? And Bugs Bunny's shooting Indians.
Uh-oh.
And he's just calling them this, calling that, and then he shoots when he says, "Oh, that's a half breed," and he makes it half a line. He said several just derogatory remarks that first I can't believe is Jesus. I can't believe everybody and their mom is not trying to get Bugs Bunny.
Uncensored Hanna-Barbera, not Hanna-Barbera, the Merry Melody cartoons, Merry Melodies, and what was the other one? Looney Tunes. They had some pretty, racist stuff in those things. Sometimes they would show Bugs Bunny in blackface, with like imitating black actors of the time. Not funny
let's
stuff.
See. Okay, how you stop this? Stop. Oh, accept cookies, maybe that's why. Stop, you damn thing. Okay. Oh, there it is. All right. Now we're going to have to let it go all the way around. So I'm going to play this clip in a minute. Y'all going to love this. If I can get it to go back around. The weird shit people send me. Okay, where is it at? Let's StreamYard it. There it is. Yeah, we still got a few minutes. Let's see. Share screen. Just somebody called into a DJ. Okay, let's see. Get up there. Add the stage. All right, here we go.
They're gonna make us start coming to work, like going into work, like leaving home and going in. Like I'm gonna have to get dressed and drive there, and I'm gonna have to deal with traffic. The stress that this is gonna cause me. I'm not going to be able to watch The View when it comes on. I'm going to have to wait till I get home after work and watch it.
What?
So I'm hearing that they're going to make us start coming to work.
Oh, shit's too much, man. When I said it to him, like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, my God. You can't be serious. That can't be real.
You'd be surprised what's out there.
Well, I mean, what did the guy say? He can barely contain himself.
Imagine who watches The View to begin with. They have to be pretty like brain dead to not even understand anything. They're watching The View. Come on, man. Come on. Look who they are.
I can't believe
You know
some of
what I
this.
mean? Look what they say.
They can't fathom the fact that you actually have to go to work sometimes.
That's
And
Sonny
I really would like to
Holston.
know that
That's
DJ
Sonny Holston
clearly couldn't
blame
contain himself.
the eclipse on global warming. That's how dumb. I mean, that's just dumb. And that's your lead on the network. And that woman she just doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. And who's watching
Have you
them?
actually do work while I'm at work? Oh no!
Who's watching them? Who's watching them? I mean, so whatever. People obviously they're out there. They're popular.
It's wacky. People that
Y'all need to remind me on Fridays. I always keep a bunch of clips for Friday nights on my Facebook. I just forget about them. There's all kind of shit on there. We should have had playing tonight. It's some of the Doge stuff is on there. One guy's telling them, I said, I'm going to tell you exactly how Doge works so y'all stop crying like little babies. He said, it's only read only. They can't see your social security numbers. He said, none of that shit's going on. That's all a lie by the left. He said, I don't understand why the left isn't getting upset by everything we're finding unless they're the ones getting the money. And so
they're uncovering all kinds of stuff, man.
We'll see where it all goes. It's going to be interesting. Jackie, that's tomorrow night. It's called The Chat. We'll pick up around 6:30. Yes, usually the title just says The Chat, and it may say something stupid, like this shit's out of control or something. Or Jay might put in there something like sexy dancing or something. You never know what's going to be on there. It's the only time you'll see like a topic is if there's something going on we want to talk about. Something that happened, like an airplane crash or Trump went stripping down the street or something. I mean, just things that are newsworthy. You might hear us talking about. Usually, no, we're not. We're going to talk about anything. Well, tonight we got off on food, which is bad. I'm going to have to ban that from this show. But it's but no, on Saturday we will talk about food and legitimately talk about food in a lot of different ways. It's just you don't know what we're going to talk about, and Michael can't shut up. He just curses the whole entire fucking show. He's like, fuck you, fuck her, fuck it, fuck that, fuck him. Fuck. Sounds like George Carlin or something. I don't know what the fuck to do. It's the chat. That's what it is. And there's no topic. That's we don't bar any topics. Sometimes we may have to put it on private so we don't get kicked off of YouTube. But really and truly, it is an open forum, and anybody can stop by and contribute. And if you really are decent at what you're doing, we can always drop you in with the group. We're actually looking for at least one more, maybe two more female hosts for these shows. Yes. Well, Leah's here with us sometimes. Sometimes she's not. Sometimes she's got prior commitments. Mm-hmm. She's got 14 kids. People, 14. I mean, Jesus. I told her
27 husbands now.
I told her I was going to buy her fucking cork is what I told her.
Who's got 14 kids?
Leah, she got 14 kids, man. 14.
You serious?
Yeah, she started when she was 14 and been having a kid like every other year since then. I don't know. Don't ask me. Why would you want that many kids, man? Jesus. 14 kids? Come on, what are you going to do with that? I remember the biggest family I met growing up was the Millers, and they had 10. And they were thinking about having another one. I was like, God, you got to be kidding me. Their house was like a well-oiled machine. They had a nanny that lived there, and it was crazy. It's a big place, but a bunch of them had to double up and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I would assume so.
A lot of fucking kids, man.
Those got a mansion.
Shit, one was too much for me. What are you talking about?
So many kids.
I got one kid. I'm happy. He's a good kid. He's out on his own, making it in the world now. I'm happy for him. I hope everything goes good in his life. Other than that, that's it. I got some stepkids. And no, I mean, I'm he's grown now. Yeah, he's out of the house. He's a married man. Hope that one day he'll call me and say, yeah, guess what, Dad? You can have some grandkids. But until then, well, I told him if he waits much longer, I'm just going to have to divorce his mom and get remarried and have 10 kids.
Right.
He don't give a shit. No, he doesn't care. He knows it ain't true, so he doesn't care. Deanie, what you got? We'll take a couple of questions and we're going to get out of here. What do you got for us? Where are you anyway? New South Wales? Is that Australia or is that
outside of Australia? Yeah.
So how's things over in New South Wales? I'm assuming it's Saturday there. Shit, might be Saturday going on Sunday there.
Yeah. Oh, it's Sunday.
So how's things down there in New South Wales? What's up? Oh, I did see that. So I don't have it in front of me because I wasn't planning on talking about UFOs tonight, but I did see that it was a flight. So when I first saw the video, I thought, oh man, look, maybe it's a flight of F-35s, F-22s, and then I realized they were flying like this. They weren't flying straight or upside down. They were flying like this. The whole group of them, and then they just went and they were gone. Yes, fuck if I know what they were. But it's classified as a.
Where's that video?
I might have a copy. I don't on this computer, but I'll have to look on the other one. It's who sent it to me? Oh, Jim did from he lives down there. Yeah, he sent it to me. I haven't seen it on any American media. No. In all fairness, I haven't looked though, so don't hate. It was a cool video. I classified it as a YAP or a UFO, whatever you want to classify, because first off, it was flying funny, and then all of a sudden it was flipped and was gone.
Yeah.
I mean, but that was a weird one because it actually lifted up and then disappeared. Usually it's just like a door opening and closing, like Mike was talking about earlier. Sometimes they just pop in and pop out. There's lots of reasons they could be popping in and popping out. Yes. And then we've seen that gate over that power plant that we've shown y'all on here on that picture before. So they seem to have a fair amount of technology around our worlds, I guess would be the best way to say it.
I'll say.
When we finally get out there past the moon and Mars and really start getting out into the solar system, they'll probably have to mostly come forward by then because we'll start running into their stuff.
Yeah.
And
we're already starting to pick their stuff up with our, James Webb telescope.
Yes, and so that's another thing. I mean, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. So a couple months ago, Jay and I and a few others were talking about NASA had thought they had found this. They had shot these radio waves through the atmosphere of this planet, and they think they found other radio waves. Well, just recently, they're pretty sure that they found how do they say it, Jay?
Coherent radio transmission.
That's how they said it. So it's the second time in less than 6 months that they found it. So it's looking like they're starting to find things. We got to remember, well, no, radio waves is like if you drop a thing in the water, they go out like this, but they can be like on a ship's radar, when they first shot it, they shot at us a narrow beam and the beam spreads out. But it's not necessarily spreading out all the way around in a big circle. It's just kind of spreading out until it hits something and then it comes back. Well, because remember, if you've ever seen a radar dish, it spins. So as it's spinning, it's sending out a thing. So it's always giving you a 360, but not all at one time. It's wherever the facing of the radar is at the time is the most accurate reading. Yes, I know. Well, it spins really fast. Yes. So it's like. So there is, I forgot what they call it, and I don't even know if they use this anymore. When I was in the Navy, there was if this is fucking classified or not. Anyway, there was a tower on a ship that didn't have a spinning radar. That's all I can say. And it managed to have a 360 incumbent radar all the time. I can't say any more than that because I don't know what the classification is on it, and I don't want to get my ass in trouble. No, saying it like that's not going to get me in trouble because it's actually an old school technology. It's not really a new. They just honed it, I guess is the best way to say it. This is something that came out of like right after World War II. Matter of fact, this particular what I'm talking about is what people tried to say shot down the aircraft at Roswell. That's what they're talking about. Yes, this type of radar. It's very powerful. But no, it did not shoot down in space. People, I'm going to tell y'all this again, okay? I know we want to think that we were mighty powerful humans and we built some special radar and we shot down some fucking alien craft. Okay. First off, there is no way we can produce most of the radiations that this ship's going to experience in space in any relative form. Because if we did, it would kill us.
Yeah, probably.
So the things that this ship is passing through are types of radiation that are more powerful than anything we have on this planet. It's flying through them like it's And I mean, matter of fact, we have probes that fly through a lot of layers. So it's not even that unearthly of a technology. It's just highly unlikely we could invent something. And then the other one was lightning. Well, if it was close to the ground and a lightning hit it, maybe it forced it to the ground. But that wouldn't explain debris all over Mac Brazel's ranch.
Yeah.
Because even if it did, I doubt that the charge of electricity would be strong enough to break the hull. Well, no, I understand electric bolts are incredibly strong, but so is everything that it passes through in deep space. When you think about these spaceships, you have to think about these things cross enormous distances to get here. And even if they're jumping, that means they're going through a portal type technology, which is putting immense stress that they're not going to find anywhere on this planet, including lightning bolts. I would imagine a wormhole.
Get out of here, man.
Yeah, we got to go. It's past my bedtime. Go get some rest, man. I'll see you tomorrow night. And don't forget, Mike's going to be on after us tomorrow night, guys. So
Mike Langley live. I think I got Frank Torcher coming on. He wrote a book called Love Letters.
They're doing
He and his daughter, when she was in rehab, they wrote letters to each other every day. Really cool stuff. But we'll be talking about addiction in America. I'll see you guys.
The second hour tomorrow night, ladies, is the Chippendales review. Yes. I won't be watching, but it'll be there for y'all. It's there for y'all. But we got to get out of here really quick. Christopher, any good UFO information? ICAR's on its way back, so I got other stuff ahead of it, but there's other things. No, it's already back in operation. It never actually went out of operation. Just we retired a lot of hosts. A lot of directors. You get burnt out after a while. 20, 30 years of doing this burns you out. It's not that hard to get burnt out. And hearing some of the stories,
there hasn't been a lot of really new information. I've been doing this since I was a kid. There's nothing really new in 40 years.
It's a lot of the repeated stuff, and even the stuff we get that we can't talk about, not at least to y'all, we can't talk about it, which would be considered new, but it's not. It still falls in the purview of the UFO thing. It's not. It's new in the fact that we see things differently because we understand more now, I guess is what it really comes down to. But as far as them using different kind of ships, or it's a different type of alien, or they changed the way they're doing things other than a couple little things, no, it's pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
Which tells me they're not worried about us even this much.
Not one iota.
It's like a passing thought. Well, no, they did worry enough. I don't know if they worried enough, but they did notice enough that they changed, missing time, and there was something else they changed. For some reason, I can't think of it right now, but those kind of things were changed. But it doesn't matter because ICAR is the only organization that even talks about this. If you go watch any abduction special or anything, no one's even in our field. And if you do hear stuff, most of the information is coming from us. We're just not getting credit for it. Matter of fact, I pissed off a producer for Ancient Aliens because I said that. He said, well, that's not true. I said, oh, no, it is. I said, tell me what you know. He started, I said, ICAR. It's all our data. I said, you don't have to take my word for it. The website's been up for 25 years. Go take a look for yourself. And I said, there's also an Alien Enigma site that's 10 years older than the ICAR site. I said, go take a look for yourself. Everything you're talking about is stuff we talked about 3 decades ago. Of course it's ours. I said, I used to host Wake Up USA, and every fucking ufology of any kind was on that show, and they've been using that data for a long time. And I said, look at the blood type study. Only organization that ever did it was us, and then all of a sudden, everybody in ufology suddenly had a blood type study. I said, it's ridiculous. I said, we've set down the layers on how to do hypnosis, on everything pretty much, and yet you don't even know who we are. The guy's like, oh, that's true. And I was like, yeah, isn't that pathetic? So it tells you how desperate the field is. I said, they don't take our ideas to use them to help people. They take our ideas to use them to try to make money or to be famous. I said, they're not really into helping people. So I've been in this field a long time. There's not many people in this field looking to help people. And he asked me about Stephen Bissett's disclosure problem. I said, I have nothing wrong with it. I like Stephen. But it's not really helping people. I said, well, if he proves that it's helping people.
Yeah, but he's not getting anything anywhere. He just hasn't, nothing's come from it.
Yes, and there's Dr. Greer, and there's nothing really come from that. And then there's Alfred Weber and Michael Sala, and which I like all these people except for Greer. Yeah. I think Greer's a prick, but the rest of them I like.
Greer is an ass, yeah.
And what's that? Jesse, he smells like ass. He does. Last time I met him, I said, man, you should go wipe that ass. he wanted to tell me something nasty, but I'm, he's taller than me, but I'm bigger than he is. So he just didn't want to go there. No, look, we're not going to get into it. We ain't got enough time to get into Greer. And, maybe one day in the near future, I can't do it on UFO on the cover, but maybe we'll do it on this show on the chat, and we'll break down ufology person by person, year, decade by decade, and let you see what you think. Well, we got a lot of people on this network that are quite familiar with UFO stuff. Yes, including my station manager. She's a fucking alien. Not as big as an
alien.
And she's not as big an alien as Amelia is, though. Oh, and to that question earlier, which one is prettier? That's up to y'all. I'm not even going there.
Yeah, we're not getting in the middle of that fight.
That's why everybody's got their favorites. Maybe they do, but I'm not saying anything.
Got a favorite, yeah.
I'm not saying anything. No, that's right. Remember when I did the promo and it played the ad? Somebody texted me and asked me, and I was like, I don't have favorites. I said my favorite's Michelle because she's the station manager.
Yeah,
she's the boss. People
on where, when, if at all.
That's right. She's the boss. Denise, I don't know. You can write to Michelle DeRoche. Just look up type in her name, Michelle DeRoche. It'll give you her email, and you can write to her and ask her what's available. You mean a weekend slot? Probably about $150 a slot. Why? It's not outrageously expensive, but remember it's for 4 shows, so it only comes out to like $30 a show. No, you can do 2, but we don't let you do less than 2 shows. Yeah, bi-weekly is as low as we'll go. We do allow for seasons. We try not to do seasons, but we do allow for seasons, and we do allow for special taking off. Like Jay's co-host, he'll usually take off 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks towards the end of the year. That's all permittable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got at least 50 archives, so I mean, it's not like he's not going to have something to play.
Yeah.
And now he's been with us 10 years, which means he has more than 500 archives, 1,000 hours. Mm-hmm. It's a lot, people. There's a lot of good guests on this, so you go check it out and see. What do you mean? He can be an ass when he wants to be, yeah. Everybody in this network can be an ass when they want to be. It's part of being a host. It's his show. He can do what he wants.
Yep, exactly right. He came up with
There's not many rules that he's bound by, no. There's not. He don't have much in the way of rules. No, other than if he does something crazy that we need to take off YouTube, he lets us know that. But other than that, there really isn't. We don't tell you who you can get guests. We don't tell you how to deal with your guests. No, that's your job. That's what makes a fucking network unique, doofuses. Yes, then we're not a cookie cutter network. We don't follow, the politics aren't the same. The religions aren't the same. Well, we're just talking about Jeffrey. Jeffrey's as liberal as you get. He's a progressive liberal is what Jeffrey says. And one of his co-hosts is, and Wham is a progressive liberal as well.
She's as far right. Yeah, they're both pretty well matched up, actually.
Yeah, so we have 2 other liberals in the network, and we have some conservatives, and we have some centralists, and we have some libertarians, and we have some independents. The way it should be. Same thing with religion.
I'd rather be registered as a libertarian, but in the state of Pennsylvania, you have to pick either a Democrat or Republican if you want to vote in the primaries and help decide who's going to be
That's
president.
some bullshit is what that is, too.
I think all the states allow that. And it is bullshit. But
yeah. Well, anyway, Jack, we'll be here tomorrow on the chat. I'm going to find me something to eat because I'm starving. And it's a good thing I get a little bit of exercise because every time I do a show, I'm fucking starving.
Yeah.
Bring your questions. Be ready tomorrow. If you have a topic you want to talk about, hit me an email at iCarCox.net. I have on Arthur's
School tomorrow. Chat room and say, hey guys, what about so and so?
Yes, you can definitely do that. Hold on, I'll tell you right quick. I have 4 guests on Arthur's Quill tomorrow. So let me see. I know Carmen just sent them to me a few minutes ago. I've seen them. So we have Daniel Montfort. He's one of the winners of this year's contest.
Cool.
For volume 41. Montfort. He's from Sarasota, Florida. And he is an artist. So he's an artist. Let's see. Then we have Randy Bartholomew of Alexandria, Virginia. And he is an author. And then we have John Barlow The name sounds really familiar for some reason. He is from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and he is an illustrator, which means the next guy will probably be an author. Oh, and then we have Sandra Skals, S-K-A-L-S Sky. So it's like Skull Sky. I know I'm saying that wrong. She is from Something Hill, New Jersey, and she is a author. Okay, so that's going to be the 4 guests tomorrow. Y'all can come join us. It'll be posted up tomorrow for y'all to I'll post it up probably around noon, so you'll know who everybody is, and you can check them out and go to their websites and stuff. But these are all 4 winners of Writers of the Future. They'll all be in Hollywood in just let's see, 8. Let's see,
that's going to be you and John Luke,
yeah, 6 weeks. Yeah, 6 weeks. And they'll all be there. And you mean Phoenix? That was me in Phoenix. Yeah, I was with the good ones in Phoenix. We were doing an award for United Public Radio gave the Humpback House, or the Camelback Mountain House, award for being what it is. And yes, that's how it works. And then ICAR, the International Community Alien Research, is giving a award to, where did it go? I just had it in front of me. Oh, shit. It was the book we've been talking about, To the Stars. Where the hell did it go? Well, guys, I had it out, but apparently I picked it up, put it somewhere. Anyway, here it is, right here. My version, which is the hardback cover. There you go. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Let's move this out the way so you can see.
To the Stars, yeah.
To the Stars, yes. Ron Hubbard, To the Stars.
Yeah,
so,
what does the book look like underneath the dust cover?
Oh, it's just plain. It's nothing. When I took it off, it's just a plain hardcover.
Yeah, sometimes the hardcover is kind of fancy underneath.
Yeah, sometimes it is this, but it's just a plain cover. But so that's it's the International Community for Alien Research did that, and actually we're going to be doing a film shoot. Well, they just did a film shoot at the observatory in Los Angeles, but I'm going to be doing the one they're got the Endeavor in. They're building a park out there in Cali, and they got the Endeavor there. Right now they got it sitting like this, but they're going to put it up like this. But we want to do a shoot there with the book and the International Community for Alien Research. For me, it's great because it helps the International Community for Alien Research get out all across California and stuff. Actually, it's going to go out to like 450 TV stations. So, yes, nice, isn't that? Cool advertisement. Yeah, so they'll get it, and of course they'll ask me, and I'll say, well, ICAR also sponsors, and that's what people don't actually understand. Without ICAR, there would be no United Public Radio or UFO Paranormal Radio. It sponsors the network. Yes, it does. We don't ever talk about it, but it sponsors the network. And technically, it owns the network. Yes. Technically, it owns it because we got to go. The network was founded mainly. So I used to host Wake Up USA UFO Study. And then somebody gave me Pioneer Radio. And then so I was going to put my show from Wake Up USA on Pioneer. And it wasn't my show. It belonged to Stardust Radio Network, which was 1690 Riverside, Iowa, the future birthplace of Captain James T. Kirk. Anyway, the producer of the network got upset and didn't want me to do it. So we started UFO Undercover. And but we were just doing the show, and we were just doing it on air, and then a couple of hosts, a couple of friends of mine that work for ICAR said, and then it just grew. But it was built so that we had a place to put out information that didn't rely on Ancient Aliens or Coast to Coast. Even though I like both of them, we had a lot of data going out, and we needed somewhere to put it out, and where we had control and where we could talk to the people ourselves. So that's how it all got started. Yes. So because of ICAR, the radio network was born so that we can control our data. And we still, even today, release data on the network. Yes. Not like we did in the old days, but still. Actually, there used to be 25 shows in this network, all that were a direct over the organization, all of them. Yeah, so somebody got beamed up. But anyway, we got to go. Jay's a land. Can't believe Shane came down and slapped him by now. I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to bed, and then I got to get.
I think I'm going to go to bed. I've been up since 5:30.
Yeah. Now, I haven't been up that long, but I've been up. And And I still got to get up in the morning, do the Arthur's Quill, and then catch up with y'all at the chat. So,
Yeah.
If you think of any topics for the chat, just toss them in there, so because it doesn't matter. You can post it. And I'll try tomorrow to get you hooked up on Rumble so you can have access to it. So you can, if you need to get into it, you can.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, guys and girls, we got to get out of here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side. Yes, wish my friend Stephanie a happy Crawford. She's one who helped start the show at the very beginning. She passed a year ago, but say hi to her. And if you're getting ready to cross, say hi to her for us. On that note, good night, and we will see you tomorrow. Oh, and Sean will be with us tomorrow night as well. Goodbye.
Yeah.